The footy's on Triple M.
It's never been bigger.
Oh, big atmosphere.
More massive moments.
What about that?
Every massive match.
The energy, the electricity is building. Massive!
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
On Anzac Day, triple header on a Sunday. We look forward to getting stuck into it. Our first game to continue round 6 is Hawthorn taking on the Adelaide Crows at University of Tasmania Stadium in Launceston. And it's a beautiful day for football, no doubt about that. Today we remember all Australians and New Zealanders who served in all wars and conflicts that afforded us the freedoms that we enjoy today. We remember all those men and women who served and came home, and we remember and honour those that made the ultimate sacrifice for us all. Barry Denner with you, and as always, I'm surrounded by people that just make me feel very, very humble indeed. 287 at the highest level, two-time All-Australian. He's the captain of our ship today. He'll guide us through as he always does. Joey Montagna, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Baz. It's my favourite day on the football calendar year, Anzac Day footy. I love it. Grew up a Collingwood supporter, and this day means a lot to all Australians, and for anyone that loves their football, it's also a great day. And we've got 3 games back to back to back, starting with this one, which I'm really looking forward to. It's a real 50-50 game, and of course, following the big one after will be the Pies and the Bombers, and then my Saints will play later tonight. So I've got a big day watching a lot of footy, Baz.
A massive day. It's going to be a fantastic day for football, but what a day to remember our great men and women who did what they did, the Anzac legend of what it is. This man, when I first met him, I said, just in a sentence, describe yourself. He said, Baz, I'm a legend of the York Peninsula. And that was probably enough. Over 100 for 2 clubs. Of course, the Adelaide Crows, 129, a 2-time best and fairest. Bernie Vince, good afternoon.
G'day, Baz. G'day, everyone. I'm sticking with that too. I'm still a legend over there.
Oh, there's no doubt.
It's a very small little place in South Australia, but I am a legend there.
Yeah.
It's basically all my family there.
And walk into a room and just light it up.
Hey, I'm up and about though, Baz.
Yes.
The
You
D's.
sound a bit croaky.
Am I?
Did you get into the game yesterday at Geelong?
I did. I got a bit. Last night got a bit excited.
Oh,
Footy.
Nath Jones, 300. Yes.
What a day. The D's. I think now they are the real deal. I've been questioning a little bit, they just can't trust them sometimes, the D's, but I think now I can safely say they're the real deal, Baz, and I'm excited.
She's gone out on a limb there, Baz. They've just beaten the champs.
I just jumped off the back of Matty Lloyd's car.
Well, joining Bernie today is a star in her own right, an AFLW All-Australian, Star Saint, and spent time with you, Joey Montagna, last night when you saw the Demons get the job done over the Tigers. G'day, Kate McCarthy.
Hello, everyone. Lovely to be here on Anzac Day.
Big night last night.
It was. It was a great game, really good game, and like Bernie said, they are the real deal now. The D's, they've defeated the reigning premiers and arguably the best team over the last 10 years. They were in terrific form last night. Beat the Tigers effectively at their own game with their pressure. And
first time working with Bernie on Triple M Footy today?
Yeah, it's an honour to be here.
All right, from the rest of us, all the very best, Kate.
I have brought a few down in my time.
Have a good day. This is the Triple M Footy Preview. Don't forget, for Ream Hot Water, built tough for Aussie conditions with the latest technology. When it comes to water heating, install a Ream. Let's get stuck into it and have a look at that one last night, because there was a big build-up, Joey and Kate and Bern, to that game. Of course, questions constantly being asked of the Demons. They're undefeated at the moment, but it's still early in the season, and last night was set up as a big test. We welcome Ethan Meldrum to the broadcast this afternoon, who's looking after the Reds End Landing stats. Tell us about the stats of last night's game, Eth.
Thank you, Baz. Thank you for having me. Well, the stats were pretty one-sided Melbourne's way in the end. Christian Salen, 39 touches, Petrarca, 38, Oliver, 36, Langdon, 32. A lot of disposals Melbourne's way, not really something you often see against Richmond. They had 449 to Richmond's 354, so it was pretty one-sided in that respect. I think you were saying, Joey, last night, it was the first time any Richmond player or any Richmond team, has considered 40, 39 disposals or something like that. So not something you see very often, Baz.
Well, you were there, Kate and Joey, but you were looking at it from the expert's point of view, Kate, and the Demons, as I said, had questions asked as to whether they'd stand up against the quality opposition that Richmond, obviously the reigning premier, are, and they ticked all the boxes again.
Yeah, they definitely did. They played a Bulldogs-esque game with their little handballs around the contest, and that really opened up the game, and it didn't allow the talls and the key defenders that like to peel off and take those intercept marks from Richmond to really play a hand in the game. They worked the ball around the contest really nicely, and obviously their pressure as well. They matched Richmond and even outdid them in the pressure acts and pressure around the ground. And I think their pressure rating was over 203 for the entire match. So that's elite. The AFL average this year is 177. So really elite pressure. And yeah, they outplayed them. And I think Richmond coming up against the Bulldogs this week, I think they're going to have to, alter their method a little bit, because they're going to do exactly what Melbourne did to them, the Bulldogs. So, yeah, a little bit to watch out for there.
Yeah, I think there's been a bit of talk that Melbourne have surprised a lot of people. Yeah. But really, if you look back to late last year, they were ticking a lot of boxes at the second half of last season, Bertie. They should have played finals.
They should have.
They dropped a couple of games in Cairns.
Fremantle
and then Sydney, where all they had to do was win one of those two, where they were the favoured team. And they would have been in the finals, and they would have been coming in with some momentum. And I think there would have been a different take on Melbourne coming into season 2021 if that was the case. But because they missed the 8, because they dropped some games, no one has been a believer. And even up until last night, people are saying, oh, who have they beaten? They haven't beaten any real contenders. But it's the way they're playing. That's what you've got to look at. You can't take teams against who they've played. You've got to look at the way they're playing, Bernie. And Melbourne's system and their style and their pressure game and their defence, which is clearly number one in the competition, and their offensive ball movement has improved. They were playing the right way. So it didn't really come as a surprise. I thought they'd go close to beating Richmond. I wasn't quite sure whether they would beat them, because I thought Richmond would be up for the fight, and they were early. But Melbourne, as Kate said, out-Richmonded them. They out-pressured them, they out-hunted them, they outworked them, and they used the ball beautifully. And now anyone that did have the doubts, and Bernie was one of them, because he still got that Melbourne in him, where all those people that are Melbourne fans or Melbourne people are still nervous. But you could see that it's been the case for a number of weeks now that this Melbourne team is the real deal.
Yep, and there was question marks last night. Every time I walked past someone, they're like, oh, I don't know. You could just see the nerves. But I think they've finally worked it out, Melbourne. And, I'm excited about the prospect. I think they just defend the ground really well, being at the game and having a look behind the play. Jake Lever, Stephen May, these guys. Ed Langdon, he's been a massive pickup for Melbourne. That outside run, finding a heap of the footy. Christian Salem has taken his game to another level. I think he had, 40 disposals or something last night. So, and just uses the ball very well. Christian Petrarca's a star. Clayton Oliver's gone to another level as well. And I just feel like across the whole ground, they tick a lot of boxes now. There's no sort of weak link in that side.
And going by your power rate in front of you there and that sort of Tom Waits delivery, you might have celebrated with a good win.
Wow.
Last night.
Got to celebrate the good wins, Baz.
The other thing too, I'm not concerned. If I'm a Richmond fan, I'm not concerned at all, because even though they're 3-3 and they're probably going to go in underdogs against the Bulldogs on Friday night, they've done this before, Richmond. In 2017, they lost to Adelaide at about this time of the year, beat them in a grand final. 2019, they lost to the GWS Giants this time of the year, beat them in a grand final. So Richmond have been there, done that. They've been on the record of saying they learn more in their losses. So they'll go away from this one, Richmond, and then they'll still be there when the whips are cracking at the end of the year. And, geez, it'd be great when these two teams meet in a big final, because, it'll be on for young and old.
And if you could pick, say, 2, 3, 4 players, Kate, I'll throw it to you and throw it to everyone, but I always look for the ones that maybe, whether it's a senior player, Maxi Gawn, that have lifted and are dragging the group with them at the moment. Usually it's the senior guys who maybe see that end of the career in that 3 or 4 years and want to attain the success. But if you pick out 2 or 3 from last night, who were dragging their mates along last night?
Oh, well, I think last night it was all for Nate Jones. I mean, he's been at the club since 2006 now. He's only played in 5 finals. He's won the least games of anyone to ever play 300 games. So I think last night they just had to look to him, and that was exactly who they wanted to do it for. I think it was the perfect occasion for them to come up against Richmond in Nathan Jones's 300 games. Max Gawn was enormous last night as well, as usual. But yeah, just down in defence, Jake Lever, Stephen May, the likes of those. And as you said, Bernie, Ed Langdon, he was massive last night. His run off halfback was enormous, but it was all for Nathan Jones, and it should have been all about him last night.
Yep.
For me, are 2 players that should get recognised that have been criticised in the past couple of years and been under a lot of scrutiny. Adam Tomlinson, Bernie. Yep. I think last year it was fair to say it hadn't worked, him being recruited to Melbourne. They tried him on a wing. It wasn't working. He was a high-prize recruit. They paid a fair bit of money to get him. He's been awesome. After Jack Rewell kicked the first 2 goals on him last night, he would have won 8 of the next 10 contests in those one-on-one battles. So Adam Tomlinson has been enormous, and credit to Tom McDonald as well.
Yep.
Another one who's been down on form, a lot of criticism about his football, where his career was at. He's turned that around, and he's been the focal point in that forward line for Melbourne as well. So their two players deserve some credit.
Yeah, he's almost turned into a key defender now, Tomlinson, hasn't he?
He is, yeah.
And that is not what they recruited him for. They recruited him for sort of some outside run and some help, and but he's fitted in very well.
Well, Kate McCarthy, Bernie Vince, Joe Montagna and Ethan Meldrum, as I said, will be joining us throughout the afternoon with the stats. Baz with you as well. And a little bit later on, we'll get to Caitlin Barry at University of Tasmania Stadium for the big game before Hawthorn and the Adelaide Crows. Jared Timms joins us now from our sponsor Nets. G'day, Jared.
Thanks, guys. G'day, punters. Well, we've already enjoyed some terrific contests in round 6. A couple of blowouts as well, but betting suggests that this will fall closer to the former. Hawthorn still our favourites, but a bit of meat on the bone for them at $1.58. There's $2.40 about the Crows, and the bookies have gone up with a line of 10.5 points. Let's have a look into our market for the first goal, and despite their side featuring as outsiders in match betting there, a couple of Crows occupy the top couple of lines of first goal betting today. They are Tex Walker, $8, Shane McAdam, $9.50. Double figures and over for everyone else here. Mitch Lewis is the $10 top elect for the Hawks. He leads Tim O'Brien and Luke Bruce, both $11. Ned's same game multi is available on every game throughout the AFL season. You can pump up your odds by combining selections from some of your favourite markets. Our popular same game multi for today's match combines Hawthorn covering the line with over 168.5 total match points, and Luke Bruce kicking the first goal for odds of $32.82. That's it from me today. Punters, enjoy the footy, take it to the Neds level, and if you're having a bet, always remember to gamble responsibly.
Thanks, Jared. That was Jared Timms from Neds. Remember to gamble responsibly. We start the triple header at University of Tasmania Stadium, the Hawks and the Adelaide Crows, before we cross to the Bombers and the Magpies at the MCG in the traditional Anzac Day clash. And for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy.
The Triple M Footy Preview. You can listen to Triple M Footy wherever you are. Just download the Listener app and start streaming.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Triple M 90s is cocked, locked and ready to rock with Spring Loaded 2021. A lineup that'll have you hugging your mate and singing your worst. Grinspoon, You Am I, Regurgitator, Jebediah, Frenzal Rom, Magic Dirt, Custard and more. Saturday, November 27, Mornington. Hit springloadedfestival.com.au for on-sale details. Or head to triplem90s.com.au and win your VIP tickets to watch the gig in a premium area with private bar, drinks with the band and score a guitar signed by Grinspoon. Spring Loaded 2021, proudly presented by Triple M 90s.
At Coles, we're helping lower the cost of your weekly shop with great fresh offers, like juicy in-season Aussie Royal Gala or Pink Lady apples, just $3.50 a kilo. Helping lower the cost of your weekly shop. Coles, value the Australian way. Offer ends Thursday.
If you want something, visualise it. You, what do you want?
Me? An amazing NBN plan?
Oh, which NBN plan?
TPG NBN 100. You get 85 megabits per second typical evening speeds for just $79.99 per month for the first 6 months. So it's amazing for streaming and gaming.
Brilliant. Everybody, time to switch to TPG.
tpg.com.au.
$89.99 thereafter. Typical evening speeds are measured from 7 to 11 p.m. Speeds vary. For terms, see website.
Australia is full of unbelievable stories, and Furphy is on a mission to find them. So, tell us your Furphy by May 31 and they'll shout your beer. What makes a great story? Well, it starts with the truth, but it doesn't end there. All Aussies have a Furphy worth telling, so go on, give us your best. Share your tall tale with us and they'll shout you a Furphy refreshing ale or a crisp lager. Head to furphyunbelievable.com to enter.
The Medallion Club, the membership that guarantees access to world-class sport and entertainment, including the 2021 Toyota AFL Grand Final. Medallion Club members enjoy guaranteed reserved seating, access to all sport and entertainment at Marvel Stadium, and all AFL matches at the MCG. Treat your customers, colleagues, friends or family to a range of first-class dining facilities and enjoy many exclusive member-only benefits. Come and experience extraordinary. Memberships start at $566 per month. Google Medallion Club today.
Hi, Steve Price here. Did you know every year almost 6,000 vets find themselves homeless? Help Wounded Heroes, help a veteran in crisis. Why not sign up for our 8 for a Mate monthly giving program at woundedheroes.org.au.
Calling all Medibank members. For a limited time at OPSM, eligible Medibank members get 25% off lenses and lens extras when purchased with a frame. Hurry, offer ends April 25. Conditions and exclusions apply. OPSM, life focused. Come with me.
A massive blockbuster Sunday launches Lego Masters out of this world. Australia's greatest. It's unbelievable. Most astronomical night.
This is the best Lego model that we have seen.
You've ever seen.
Amazing.
Lego Masters' biggest 3 nights begins with Blockbuster Sunday. Tonight at 7 on 9.
Art is such an important part of my life. Discovering Daniela meant I had a tremendous channel to the creative artistic world.
If, like Nick, you want real choice over your NDIS support, visit mabel.com.au.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
Hawthorn, Adelaide, University of Tasmania Stadium. That's what we kick off with. The triple header for Anzac Day. The Bombers and the Pies after this at the MCG. Then Port Adelaide take on St Kilda at Adelaide Oval to finish off round 6. Barry Denner with you, Joey Montagna here, the great Bernie Vince, the great Kate McCarthy, Ethan Meldrum. It's time to go down to the boundary line for Bob Jane T-Marts. Bob Jane T-Marts, of course, get great tyre and wheel deals for safer driving. Visit bobjane.com.au, and it's great to have Triple M Zone. What a star. Caitlin Barry with us this afternoon. G'day, Caitlin.
Good afternoon, team. Well, perfect conditions here at UTAS Stadium for footy. It's been 638 days since the last game here in Launceston, so a bit of AFL content to treat the crowd who are still filing in, fashionably late as always. But a bit of breaking news, and it does have implications for AFL content in Hobart. North Melbourne will be forced into 14 days of home isolation and tested for COVID-19 under Victorian government protocols when they return from Perth tomorrow morning. So, this morning they're returning, so they'll be forced into isolation. That has huge implications in terms of the season and fixturing, including next Sunday's May 2 game scheduled for Blunston Arena against Melbourne. So some huge issues there for the AFL. I think they had requested an exemption, the AFL, from the Victorian government, and looks like that's been rejected. So we'll keep you up to date on what's happening there, but looking forward to a great game here at UTAS Stadium. Both sides go in unchanged. Finn McGuinness and Tom Lynch are medical subs, and the Anzac Day ceremony about to get underway in just a couple of moments.
Thanks, Caitlin. That's huge news. Of course, the Kangaroos went down last night in Perth against the Dockers, and they've been caught up in another bit of a COVID situation, this time in Perth.
Yeah, it's going to be a watch now what happens with that game next week against Melbourne, what they decide to do with that, and a lot of implications. So we'll have to stay tuned. We've learned to become agile and flexible and all those words. So the clubs have been pretty good, but it is a bit of a disruption, certainly for the Kangaroos. And, we'll have to keep an eye on that one.
Yep.
Do they shift that game next week? Or can they... So 14 days quarantine, do they get to train together? And
well, I think they just said they got an exemption to train. Yeah, they're allowed to train, but they're allowed to have to go back to their houses to isolate like they used to.
Yeah, I think it's still developing, because originally they had said that there was an exemption for them to train and play next week, but apparently that's on hold now. So I think it's a bit of a watch this space from the government as to what they'll be allowed to do.
Imagine not being able to train for 14 days. You'd be unconditioned, Baz.
Deconditioned.
Deconditioned.
What about 14 years, Bert? Imagine what that'd be like. Have a look at me. The Brisbane Lions got the job done over the Blues yesterday. So that's good news for them. One of the competition's favourites for the end of the year real stuff when it happens, the Brisbane Lions. The Blues would be disappointed. They had their opportunities. They bounced back. But, it's a funny situation for both clubs at the moment. The Lions have had, losing Rayner, I think, at the start of the year was a big injury concern for them. But every club deals with injuries. But from a Carlton point of view, there was hopes and dreams coming into this season, and they're just starting to whittle away a little bit, and the Blues fans are getting a little bit restless.
Yeah, they are. I don't think they were expected to win yesterday. I'm not sure any of us tipped them. I think we all thought Brisbane were the better team and would win. Look, I think the expectation has come from internal, because I didn't have Carlton in my top 8. I'd question Carlton whether they were a top 8 side, but internally their expectations were high. They were speaking about finals. They were talking about no more excuses. So that's why the heat is on Carlton, because of their own expectations. Drafting in Sarden, Williams, Bernie, a couple of mature age recruits on big money meant that they were ready for the now. So that's why there's everyone, the spotlight is turned on the Blues, because 2 and 4 at this stage, it doesn't look like they're going to play finals yet. That was their expectation.
It's not so much win-loss, it's the way they've lost. I just feel like they've been disappointing around the footy, and I don't know, they've put themselves in winning positions at times, but they've just, at key moments in games, they've just sort of let the game get away. And again, yesterday, Brisbane, they came right back at them, got within, I think, a kick, and then Brisbane kicked the next 3 or 4 goals, and just, they sort of almost tease you a little bit, Carlton, I feel, but to watch this space there.
Yeah, they never really had the momentum yesterday. They got close, and when they did get close, you were kind of surprised that they were close.
Yeah.
And every time that they got within a kick or a little bit like that, the Lions just kicked away, and it was just that lack of pressure from Carlton. And I mean, Sam Walsh has been enormous for them this season. He's the real shining light this season. But apart from that, there hasn't been a whole lot to celebrate at the Blues.
If you want to be half glass positive or half glass full with Carlton, 3 of their 4 losses have been to Brisbane, Port Adelaide and Richmond. So they have played a lot of the top teams early. They haven't won, but they're going to have a bit of an easier run at some stage. So they still have some upside. But as Bernie said and Kate said, they just need to get their game going, particularly defensively.
Lachie Neale got split open in the first term, and as a part of that, he touched an umpire, what he has said, just to let him know that I'm split open and I need to probably go off the ground. Anything to worry about? Has anyone seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. I think the rule now is it's a fine because it wasn't forceful. They've changed the rule from a couple of years ago where any contact was a 1-week suspension. They altered the rules to allow for a little bit of those sort of indiscretions. So my understanding is it'll be a fine.
He'll get a fine for that, will
Yep.
Jeez.
They're allowed to touch an umpire.
Yeah, I know.
Touch an umpire.
But he was sort of, I don't know, he was trying to do the right thing. Saying I'm bleeding, I'm going off, but you're not allowed to touch him.
It's fair enough.
Did you see it, Kate?
Yes, I did.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think it'll just be a fine. There wasn't anything in it. There was no malice in it. He was telling him that he was going off. I think he was a little bit telling him that he also probably should have got a free kick because he's bleeding. But he was going off for the blood rule, let him know. Not much more in it than that.
And just quickly, Geelong, they've silenced the doubters. A few people were starting to question Geelong. I thought they're a team they're building for the back end of the season. Yeah. They're here for the marathon, not the sprint. They know what they need to do. I thought they flexed their muscles yesterday at home. They were very good. Mitch Duncan, he's an underrated superstar of the competition. West Coast, though, very, very disappointing. You've got to question their mental resolve when they go away from home. They've lost 3 games now away from home, but Geelong bounced back certainly.
All right, we'll head down to the observance ceremony, Anzac Day, here at University of Tasmania Stadium as the Adelaide Crows and Hawthorn line up around about 25 metres across from each other. It's a beautiful day for football, so we're looking forward to the day itself in regards to the football, but of course it's a bigger day than just footy today on Anzac Day, and all at the ground and all of us right around Australia just remembering those that served and fought over many conflicts.
Please stand for the Anzac observance ceremony to be presented by RSL Tasmania, and at the conclusion remain standing for the Australian National Anthem.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. lest we forget.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please remain standing for the Australian National Anthem to be performed by Matthew Garwood.
Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by a sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page let every stage advance Australia fair. In a joyful strains and let us sing advance Australia fair.
So, Joey, I suppose for those that didn't, we can't imagine. For those that did, they have their own memories, and all we're left to do is honour and respect them that did, because they've allowed us our freedoms.
Absolutely, well said, Baz. Yeah, you're spot on. It's a day to reflect, and football allows us to do that, and we get the experience to watch this ceremony and appreciate what we've got, and it was wonderfully well done.
Hawks have won 34 of their 39 games here at University of Tasmania Stadium in Launceston. And they've won 10 of their last 12 against the Adelaide Crows. Kate McCarthy and Bernie Vince are going to set it up for us. We're about 3 minutes away from the bounce. What are the expectations this afternoon?
Yeah, I'm looking for a bit of a response from Adelaide. They were a bit disappointing in the second half last week against Freo. Just didn't take, we spoke about moments before, didn't take their moments to really nail that game, and they'd be disappointed as a group. Got beaten in contested ball and clearance, and that's one area they've really improved on this year, and that's why you've seen them win a few games early this season, because their clearance work last year was almost non-existent. This year, been very good in that area, let themselves down last week, so I'm looking for a response there. And Hawks are coming off a game where they were right in it against, how we were saying how good Melbourne is at the moment. They were, I think it was 4 points down or something at three-quarter time, and then ended up giving up 8 goals in the last quarter and ended up losing that game by 50 points. So they were a bit disappointing last week too, but it's going to be a good game.
Important to note, only 4 Crows have actually played in Launceston before at this venue, so only 4 of them, and 2 of them have played for other teams at the venue, so important with that one. And also Riley Thrillthorpe coming in for his debut, so a key position player. How exciting is that, someone coming in for their debut? Matthew Nicks kind of wanted to, I guess, simmer the expectation coming in around him as well. Just don't expect too much. He's a key position player, so he's going to take a very important defender with him. But he kicked 4 goals in the sample game, practice match, against Port Adelaide, and he's the 4th Crow to debut this year.
Yeah, Kate said Riley Thrillthorpe on debut, pick number 2, the South Australian, so looking forward to seeing the big 200-centimetre ruck forward in action. Jackson Haitley playing his first game for his new club, coming across from the Giants, and Elliot Himmelberg's also in for his first game of the season, while Locke
can get back within that 10-week, 12-week period, which does get him back.
A couple of quick ones. First, Adelaide's jersey. Can you describe it to our listeners, please? And then secondly, you got a mate of yours whose birthday it is this afternoon.
It is the big Texan's birthday today. So
how old's Tex today?
31 today.
31.
People keep thinking he's
playing like he's 25.
Yeah, isn't he? He's wearing the clock bag. He probably played like he was 40 last year, though. So I can say that because I know he can't be listening at the moment unless he's got his little ear pod in. But yeah, Adelaide wearing a bit of a redder sort of Guernsey, isn't it? I think this might be their away clash Guernsey. So looking forward to that.
Bob Jane T-Mart's Caitlin Barry. Of course, Bob Jane T-Mart's great tyre and wheel deals for safer driving. Visit bobjane.com.au. Caitlin, have you had the toss?
We have Hawks captain Ben McAvoy has won the toss, and the Hawks will kick to the river end or the right of screen if you're watching on broadcast.
Triple M Red Z Lending stats this afternoon. Ethan Meldrum will look after those. Red Z Lending loans for the self-employed. Eth, a couple of zingers for us before the bounce.
Well, for Hawthorn, winning the ball isn't an issue for them. They're second in the league in disposals. It's just what they do with it. They're last in the league for kicks inside 50 and have turned over 45% of those, which is the third most. Adelaide, as you said, Byrne, they're a really good stoppage team, second in the league for scores from stoppages differential. And Taylor Walker as well, 22 goals, equal lead in the Coleman, 12 score involvements per game as well.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy to start this Anzac Day, and it's the big one here between the Crows and the Hawks. McAvoy in the ruck, slaps it towards centre-half forward. Coming through there was Brown, wrapped up in a tackle. We'll have a stoppage centre-half forward for the Hawks, going to the right of the broadcast.
Tell me this, Joey. Why is Ben McAvoy, why has he got tape around his head already? He tapes his head before he plays.
He now tapes his head before he plays for the precautionary cut above the eyebrow that he gets. A bit like a rugby union player.
Thought he might have hit his head on the door on the way out or something.
Just something he does now. You're right. It's quite unique. Neither ruckman can win the hit out, so Bruce just snatches it away, feeds the handball back to Shields, who's going to go deep inside 50 into the pocket. Backing back, Tom Doedee. What a start to the year he's had. Missed a lot of footy through injury, and he's been very, very good so far in season 2021.
Rolled on his own wrist there, and Bernie
jarred his finger or wrist or something.
Yeah, it was a little bit uncomfortable. He kicked along the boundary line about 35 metres and put it out in the full, so Scrimshaw will track the footy back for the Hawks and bring it back into play. To seconds into the game. University of Tasmania Stadium in Launceston. Beautiful day for footy. And no doubt the Hawks just desperately wanting to register their second win of the season. Kick inside forward 50. Butts got his hand on the footy. Lewis there as well for the Hawks. And both see it punched out the side of the pack. GF tracks it for Hawthorn. Umpire's whistle's gone. A holding free kick. And it's going to go to the Adelaide Crows in the back pocket. But just seconds into the game, no score to either side.
Young Jordan Butts, who gets the big job every week on all the key forwards, goes long and wide. Taylor Walker there. Hardwick wrapped up by McAdam. Ball might spill out. Murphy. Rory Laird, who's been excellent on hands and knees, tries to shovel the handball out. There's a first touch to Phil Thorpe. Picked off though. A lot of players around this football. Warple, Impey, and here is CJ GF. Love the way this kid plays. Well, that's a poor kick. Turnover finds Brown from the Adelaide Crows, true centre-half back. Goes short to Brodie Smith. Still inside the centre square here at Utah Stadium. And they'll work it out through hands now. And they get towards half-forward. Phil Thorpe dropped the mark, but the umpire paid it. And then, that's a nervous start on debut. Kicked it straight to the man on the mark.
Not a good first kick, Joey.
No, he'll want to forget that one. The Hawks on the turnover. Mitch Lewis has got a player at the back. It's Kajitsky. And the young fella's going to learn the hard way, Bernie. Yeah. You're going to turn the ball over. It can cost you a goal at AFL football because that's how quick they do it.
Yeah, well, he only just held on to the mark. He almost dropped the mark as well, but the umpire had already called blown the whistle. But then he just watching here on the Harvey Norman replay, just chipped it back to the man on the mark. I don't even know what he's trying to do there. Maybe he's just nervous.
I think he's nervous, Brent. We'll give him that excuse. It's Kajitsky from about 20 out straight in front. He's got the first of the afternoon. Good start for Hawthorn. And on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard, they're 1 straight 6. How do I get the score 5 minutes into the first term?
Yeah, important to get off to a good start, isn't it, when you've had a poor week last week and spoke about the 8 goals in the last quarter scored against. They'll be thinking about that, and it's so down here when Hawthorn get off to a good start away in Tasmania. What was the record there down there? 36 from 39 or something you said, Joey? Outstanding record down here, and it's you can't give him too much of a start because it's just too hard to win down there.
I just want to give the kid Phil Thorpe a little bit of confidence, Baz. My first kick in AFL football, I kicked it straight to Ryan Loney for the Pies. He kicked it straight over my head for a goal. So you can only look up from there.
It's better for
me. He might be a 287 game player, 2-time All-Australian. What else did you do?
Just interesting to see, guys. There was a little bit of talk during the week that GF might play on the wing. It looks like he has started there. He's pushed all the way forward into the forward 50, got a disposal in there, and then also helped out to move the ball from the back line as well. So he'll be working up and down the ground, I would say, today.
Triple M Seabus Super Special comments. Kate McCarthy, Bernie Vince this afternoon, delivering consistent long-term returns for members. Seabus for us all. From McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. Impey's got it at half-back for the Hawks. Hand pass over to Scrimshaw. Scrimshaw for Hawthorn tried to work it off half-back with a hand pass to a teammate who got smashed. Spills to ground level. Picked up by Murphy. Kick inside forward. 50's gone straight to Frost for the Hawks. Got it out to Giath. Giath now bounces across the wing out of side of the ground. And the little hand pass will come back inside towards Shields. Shields hand pass back to Wingard. Continues to run. Kick inside forward 50. Massive pack. Full of the ball. Brodie Smith breaks away. A little short ball outside defensive 50.
Yeah, they love to go through the corridor, the Crows, and they will on this occasion. Murphy back to Brodie Smith. Now Seedsman will take a bounce. Will take a second. He'll run to 50. Normally likes to pin the ears back and go for goal, but this time he passes it. And he finds Shane McAdam top of the goal square. Good coast-to-coast footy by the Crows. And McAdam should look to level the scores.
Tell you what, guys, wearing a long sleeve guaranteed to improve your speed by about 2 kilometres an hour. So
that's coming from personal experience.
100%.
That's
100%.
where I went wrong.
Kate McCarthy makes the long sleevers famous. So Shane McAdam, well, he's kicked 11 goals this year, and it's number 12 for him. He makes no mistake. Well done by the Crows. And on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard, 1-6 apiece. IJ Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent.
Yeah, good start, isn't it, for him? He can drop out of... Shane McAdam can drop right out of games for long periods of time. So to get a good start like that as a forward, to get a goal on the board early, be do his confidence wonders. But we did see Thilthorpe, he had his second kick, Joey. We sort of just skimmed over that, but I haven't forgotten it. Yeah. Straight to Hawthorn again, straight back inside 50. So he's going at 0. I don't even have to look that one up, Ethan. He's going at 0% by foot.
What are his rating points at the moment, Ethan?
-4, sadly.
Oh, no. All right, no, it's nerves. It's nerves. But I tell you what, I'm not going to give him another out. He needs to hit his next target.
Yeah, definitely nervous. He's a big guy. Looks like he can kick a long ball. Just needs to calm down, back himself, and kick long if nothing's on. He's trying to hit 2 cute little short kicks.
I guarantee you his next kick's long.
Yep.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Bounces good. O'Brien, little tap down. Ground level ball will come back to him. Tried to hand pass over the top towards Thilthorpe. He went for the little hand pass and not the kick, but that was okay. Successful. Wide hand pass onto the wing. Opportunity for Fogarty. Got a slap around the chops for the Crows. Called to advantage. Rowe at half forward sees it bounce over his head. Giath at half back for the Hawks. Hand pass in towards Mitchell. He's on hands and knees. Got swamped by Crows now. The ball's going nowhere. 55 out from Adelaide's goal, and the umpire calls for a ball up.
Good pressure by the Crows early. We'll get some numbers off Ethan in a moment. Good start to this game. McAvoy tapped down to O'Meara. Couldn't get boot the ball. Another strong tackle from young Haitley, and then Schoenberg tries to rip through a couple, couldn't. Giath, another disposal for him, and great mark. One-on-one contest between Tim O'Brien and Jake Kelly. And Kelly won out, took a nice mark. So from right on centre wing, he's going to send it back towards the top of the 50. Elliot Himmelberg flies. Tex Walker stays down. Fell to ground. Clever handball. Got it to Schoenberg, who kicks it on the outside of the boot for a beautiful goal. And the Crows have got their second. Nice finish and a nice quick handball from Tex. And on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard, the Crows have kicked 2 in a row. They're 2 straight 12. Hawks 1 straight 6.
Yeah, as we watch the replay on Harvey Norman here, he almost went to ground, didn't he, Tex? He sort of tripped over himself in the end, but how well did he dish that handball out? And Schoenberg just didn't have to even break stride, and that's exactly how you want him. No pressure on him, just snapped it around. It was very clever from the outside of the boot too. So good start here by the Crows. Good call, Joey. Lots of pressure. Their tackling pressure is right up. And Ethan, you got a stat for us?
Yeah, Red Z Lending stats. You bang on, Joey. The pressure factor for Adelaide so far, 208, as Kate said earlier. AFL average 177. 9 tackles to 7 as well, and kicking at 77%.
For the big Texan involved early, just hands one off to young Schoenberg. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Big O'Brien tries to work his way through the pack. Past Big Ben McAvoy. Both ruckmen see the footy pushed to the outer side wing. Shuffled off the bottom of the pack to O'Meara. Stands in the tackle, eventually dragged to the ground. And the umpire to ball it up. It was Haitley, the tackler. Ball thrown in the air. McAvoy down to ground level again. Still in the centre of the ground. Shields just toe pokes it. Kicks it off the ground towards half forward. Hawthorn in their forward half now. Working their way around. An opportunity for Keys for the Crows. Little hand pass off to Haitley. Gives another one outside towards the outer side wing. They've worked back to McPherson. Little hand pass off to Duday. Now drops it onto the right boot for the Crows and drives long towards Walker on the wing.
McAdam dropped the mark. McAvoy tries to do the crumbs with that head taken already. Mitchell, Burgoyne, game number 395. Handballs to Tom Phillips, who goes into the forward pocket. Kajitsky had 2 to beat, copped a knee in the back for his troubles. And Jordan Butts knocks it out of bounds.
Tom Mitchell, guys, loves playing at this ground. He averages 37 disposals from 8 career games at UTAS.
So the ball will be thrown in, 40 around from the Hawks' goal. Riley O'Brien just tries to knock it forward. There's another disposal for Tom Mitchell. It's a high ball. Kajitsky's going to sit under it again. Again, he had a couple of Crows to beat. Phillips on the outside of the boot, only as far as Will Hamill. Umpire said not 15. So he's wrapped up in a tackle, top of the goal square.
So the young man got smashed, but he hung onto the footy. And as Joey said, top of the goal square for the Hawks. What can they do? Down to Mitchell. Couldn't get beat. The ball still alive. Hamill tapped it through for a rush point. So good work from the Crow. And the Hawks go to 1-1-7. 2 straight goals to Crows. 13 and a half minutes left to play in the first term. We're 10 and a half into it. That's all on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Brodie Smith will take the kick in. He'll run his full measure and he goes through the corridor. Love the aggression and a terrific mark. Elliot Himmelberg out the back. The big fella in his first game for the year wants to move it quickly. Goes to Tex in a one-on-one. Sam Frost wins that one. Good contest. Frost just nudged Tex under the football on his 31st birthday. And the kick, though, made it difficult for Hardigan. It was good work by Scholl coming the other way. Phillips, clever little handball. Hanrahan will send it inside 50 again for the Hawks. Coming across, Mitch Lewis couldn't take the mark. Where are the Crummers? Hamill for Adelaide, had a little fumble. So he just flicks the handball to space. Hawks will win it back. Hanrahan back to Scrimshaw on his left boot. Goes looking for Wingard over his head. And in the right spot at the right time was Tim O'Brien. And he takes the mark, 35 out straight in front.
Yeah, he kicked out. I think he was actually looking for Wingard there, and it went over the top. Both players ended up running under the footy, and O'Brien was just watching the ball. He was in the right spot at the right time. And speaking of confidence players, he's another one that, you know, he can just fall out or fade out of games a little bit too. So this will be a big start for him.
Tim O'Brien, been around for a long time. Played 83 AFL games now. To put the Hawks in front. He makes no mistake. He's a lovely kick of the football. So the Hawks 2-1-13, Adelaide 2 straight 12. 12 minutes left in this first term. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, proudly local and proudly independent.
Hawthorn currently spending 68% of the game in their forward half, so it's good that they've got some bang for their buck there and have hit the front on the scoreboard as well.
Bob Jane T-Marts, Caitlin.
I don't know about these long sleeves. It's a perfect balmy 16 degrees down here at ground level and no breeze to speak of at all.
Well, it makes you faster. That's why they wear them, doesn't it?
100%.
Yeah.
Well, they preempted it was going to be cold.
Well, Tasmania, I suppose.
Already packed.
Yeah.
Sorry, from someone from Brisbane, 16 is definitely long sleeve.
Just like a game of footy, Macca's new McSpicy burger has a serious kick. They're beautiful, Joey.
Love it.
Just get them on the way.
They're making too many of them. I'm having too many, Baz.
On the way home, just for a snack, they are magnificent. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy, Big Ben McAvoy got to try to get a tap towards Mitchell, was tackled, lost it, Warple head over it. Oh, Big McAvoy went at it again, little hand pass out the side of the pack to Cousins. Cousins for the Hawks, kicks to half forward. Crows have got the numbers down there if they can control it. The ball bounced away from Kelly. Now it's kicked out of their hands inside forward 50. Dropping back was Hately, did well. Got a hand pass to Hamill. Hamill now drives it back here to the broadcast wing for the Crows. Bouncing footy, who gets there first? Rowe lays a heavy tackle. Advantage paid, free kick for the Hawks. Burgoyne runs away. Long ball to full forward is good. And another opportunity presents for the Hawks with a terrific mark taken by Kajitsky, who has already kicked a goal early in the match. And again, he's only about 20 metres out directly in front.
It was all a little bit too easy there from the Hawks, wasn't it? They won the ball back on the wing, as you called, Baz, and it just the ball coming in. It was a sort of a high-flighted ball, and no Crow went for the spoil.
So Kajitsky pops it home for the Hawks. They get their third, 3-1-19. He's got a couple. And Adelaide, 2 straight goals. 12 Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. We're 14 minutes into the first term.
Yeah, big outnumber there, as you said, Bernie, as they were going back inside 50. It wasn't exactly 100% won by the Crows yet, so I don't know why they'd all emptied out a defensive 50 and run forward of the ball, and they had in the end, a 3-on-2 nearly, and easy mark for Kajitsky out the back.
Yeah, it looked like they predicted that they were just going to transition that ball down that wing side, but Hawthorn were able to turn it over and catch them unaware.
So the Hawks lead this one by 7 points. Kazitsky's got a couple early. Good game of footy there, Tasmania. The first of 3 games back to back to back all day on Triple M. Do not change the radio dial.
Bombers.
Footy from wall to wall. The Bombers and the Pies, and then Port and the Saints from Adelaide Oval.
Yep.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Darcy Fogarty for Adelaide into the centre bounce. Will get the free kick. He was pushed as he kicked it. So it'll go back to the centre square. Big Darcy Fogarty. And trying to throw him in the few centre bounces. And he's got a beautiful leg on him. So he's going to drive this one deep. Hawks have been able to get numbers back there. Staying down at ground level. Shoal from the pocket. He won't go for goal. He'll kick it to the top of the square. They have the numbers, Adelaide, on the boots. Seedsman too far across the face, out of bounds on the full.
Geez, he hooked that back a long way, Baz. He almost ended up kicking it behind himself. But good pressure there from Adelaide. Win the ball back.
So Burgoyne deep in the back pocket. Triple M Super special comments. Bernie Vince and Kate McCarthy here this afternoon. Little short ball from Burgoyne to Phillips, and he marks at half-back. Who's got the big numbers so far, Ethan Meldrum? 15.5 first term.
Well, it's Tom Phillips. He's had 6 disposals, most on the ground. Rory Laird leading the way for the Crows with 5.
Phillips to Moore. He marks on the wing for the Hawks, wants to play on and does. Runs around, gives it everything he's got. It'll land about 60 from home. Couple to beat in the air was Lewis. Won't get near the footy. The ball spills to the back. Hanrahan chases it. Overruns it. The Crows hand pass share inside their defensive 50. Duday over the top of the pack, making sure the ball's going nowhere. We'll have a ball up very close to the boundary line, around about 40 metres around from the Hawthorn goal. They lead it by 7 points, and we're 16 minutes into the first term on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
So from the throw up, the ball will trickle out of bounds. Beautiful conditions, as Caitlin Barry's told us. 16 degrees, sun's out.
Magnificent.
Wonderful day for football.
Yeah, or fishing.
So from the throw in, Adelaide will win the stoppage. Shoal to young Jackson Haitley in his first game in Crows colours. Goes towards Tex Walker, but big boy McAvoy dropped back in the hole. Took the intercept mark, and the Hawks have been looking to move the ball quicker today. It's been good footy. Phillips goes wide. Kazitsky again, or it's Cousins in fact, will run to 50. Screws it around. It was a poor kick. Still might work out, although Riley O'Brien did well for a big fella. Handballed it off to Laird, but only as far as Hardwick, who takes intercept mark, and they want to play on the Hawks, and he gives it to CJ Giath, steps around McHenry, runs to 50, he won't go for goal, he unselfishly pops it into the pocket to Kazitsky. Good play by the Hawks, and Jacob Kazitsky will have a kick only 2 metres out from goal. Bit of a tough angle, but if he thinks his way through it, he'll step around on the left boot and kick his third.
He's an excitement machine, isn't he? Love watching him play. You probably would have forgiven him to have a shot on goal there, but did the team thing, passed it off.
He didn't back himself on the left, but it didn't matter. Kazitsky, he went with the banana, and he's got 3 in the first term. Kazitsky, good to call that name again. The big fella's on fire. And on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard, the Hawks are 4-1-25. They lead the Crows 2 straight 12. And we've still got a tick over 8.5 minutes left in this first quarter.
Yeah, just having a look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Definitely could have gone for goal then. Giath really pulled the kick, but it was perfectly to advantage. And Hawthorn, as you said, Joey, just really looking to play on and get the ball moving really quickly. Obviously, we saw the quick turnover before, and the Adelaide Crows were really out of position inside 50, so maybe they've seen that as a little bit of a weakness when they set up. The quicker the ball that can get in there, the more likely they are to hit the scoreboard.
Harvey Norman, of course, purchased with 60 months interest-free at Harvey Norman and receive a bonus gift card at the moment. Conditions apply, and that look of real joy from Kazitsky when he kicked his third goal.
He's just thinking, how 3, 6, 9, 12, how many am I going to kick?
I've kicked 3 and it's 18 minutes into the first term. I'm going all right. So Himmelberg got a hand pass back for the Adelaide Crows. Back to Hamill. He kicked out to the outer side wing. It'll be a free kick for Hawthorn. Good tackle late. Hand pass comes out from O'Brien to Burgoyne. He plays on, kicks inside forward 50, butts. Dropped back with a flight of the footy at half-back for the Crows and did well. Little hand pass off to McPherson, got space inside his defensive 50. Hand pass outside, to Hamill, then to Laird, back to McPherson. They go through the centre of the ground. Short kick to Keys. It's cut off by Warple of the Hawks.
And they're going to go back at them, the Hawks. They're moving the ball quickly. Bruce from 50. He's going to go for goal. It might go to Kaczynski, who unselfishly tried to shepherd it through, but it went through for a behind.
Oh, take the mark.
Come on,
the
Cozzy.
goal. 4, 8, 12. That's 16, Buzz.
Yes. That's where you mark it. And if it was going through the goals, you apologise and say, sorry, I wasn't sure.
I never apologise.
He tried to do the right thing. So the Hawks lead this by 14 points. They're dominating territory. Ethan, I want to get the inside 50 count in a minute. Feels like it's been all the Hawks in this first term. They need to steady here, the Crows. Big kick towards the wing. Seedsman wrapped up in a strong tackle from Harry Morrison. Hawks have got the numbers around this ball, but Jager O'Meara happy to see it out of bounds.
Red Z lending stats, you're spot on, Joey. 14 inside 50s to 4 this term Hawthorn's way, including 10 of the last 11.
That's what we like, the selfish side of the game. Like, go for the mark, kick your fourth in 20 minutes. That's, but, others. Boundary throw in. Forward 50. Hawks have started well. They play well here at UTAS. Over a long period of time. Laird, good hands for the Crows. To Seedsman. Drops it on the right boot. It's over the head of McAdam. Burgoyne's right with him. Good one-on-one. Opportunity for the Hawks at half-back. Grabbed by Frost. He's tackled. His hand pass went straight to Fogarty. Got a hand pass back to Laird, then a bit towards Schoenberg. He's tackled, lost the footy, dropping the ball. Free kick will go to Warple, the tackler, at half-back for the Hawks. Good tackle. And they lead it by 14 points. And we're 21 minutes into the first term.
Look, a different side today, Hawthorn, for me. They're moving the ball quick. They're coming through the corridor, taking the game on. In the past few weeks, they've just been a bit stagnant, a bit slow, like to retain the ball, but look, a different side.
They certainly made the adjustments, and they're going to win this football again on the wing because O'Meara's involved. Harry Morrison slipped over at a crucial moment, and the Crows will win the ball back through Ned McHenry. They also want to try and flick it around by hands. Laird, McPherson, Seedsman. He goes on the outside of the right boot. Oh, it's touch and go. Did it stay in the play? It did. Tex took the mark. 70 out. He wheels and goes long to the top of the square because he sees a one-on-one. It's Murphy and Impey. McAdam comes through. Hawks pressure relentless. And they wrap him up. And a good tackle is going to go the way of Jarman Impey. Last line of defence for Hawthorn. They lead this one by 14 points.
How powerful is that big, long kick straight? I mean, I know Hawthorn Impey ended up getting the footy, but they were under the pump.
Yeah, they were. You noticed there was one-on-ones ahead of the ball and got in real quick.
O'Brien takes the mark at half-back. Again, they want to move the ball quick, so he gave it to Hanrahan, but put him under a bit of pressure. He's kicked into the corridor for Warple, made it tough for him. Here's Phil Thorpe, gave a handball, good option. O'Brien, McHenry ran into trouble, he slipped. How's the umpire going to see this one? He's going to ping him, holding the ball. So under all sorts of pressure here, the Crows.
So Shields gets up with the footy, sort of playing a bit of a game there. I don't know what he's doing. He's sort of playing a little game. Hold the footy, you're going to touch it. You're not going to touch it.
He was trying to get the man on the mark to move.
Yeah.
He's like moving around like you do with a dog.
Scrimshaw received the hand pass and his kick bounced out of bounds on forward 50 of the Hawks. Triple M Harvey Norman replay. The coach, Alistair Clarkson, looks a bit frustrated. Kate, what do you reckon's going through his mind?
Free game.
I think he'd be pretty happy with this start, actually. They look like they've come into the game wanting to move the ball quickly and get it inside 50, and that's what they've been able to do in the first quarter.
Clearance through Seedsman from the boundary throw-in. Short ball to Big Tex, who's on the defensive side of the wing, outer side of the ground. Good kick to Brodie Smith, and he can go long for the Crows.
He's got a one-on-one again. It's McAdam and Impey. Well done, Impey. Won the one-on-one and then tucked the footy under the arm. Ran an aggressive kick through the corridor. It's been a free kick. It's going to go against Jager O'Meara for front-on contact. It'll go the way of young Will Hamill. So he's inside the centre square, but he goes wide. Seedsman had a fair bit of it this quarter. And the Crows will work their way inside 50, and the mark's been taken. Schoenberg, Giath was coming hard at him.
He hurt himself,
in fact. Yeah.
Yep.
Tried to hit Schoenberg as he took the mark, winded himself.
Yep.
Just needs to suck in the big ones. Not a nice feeling getting winded, is it, Bertie?
Horrible.
Sucks.
That was a big contest, wasn't it? He almost looked like he was trying to line Schoenberg up and
come off second best.
Come off second best.
So he's already kicked one, Harry Schoenberg. It was a beauty too. A check side on the outside of the boot. This is going to be another exceptional goal if he can kick this, because he's going to kick it from the junction of the 50-metre line and the boundary. He's going to pop it to the top of the square. Riley O'Brien flies. Couldn't take the mark. A lot of numbers inside 50 for this one, so we'll have it thrown up. 15 out from the Crows' goal. They trail by 14 points.
4 goals to 26 Hawthorn, 2 straight goals the Crows, and 3 goals have been kicked by Jacob Kazitsky for the Hawks. The ball up will see a free kick to O'Brien against the big Texan. He's not happy. Why would he be? So O'Brien from the back pocket kicks it to Giath, who's caught his breath, Joey. He's all right. And he marks it half back. So Giath elects to play on, go across the goal he's defending. Finds Frost. Frost will mark, and he's got space. Looks to the broadcast wing with a kick, and it's a good kick. Marked by Hanrahan. Little hand pass, and now a kick long towards half forward. It's a bouncing footy, 2-on-1 the Crows' way. Hamill sees it bounce into his arms, breaks the tackle, runs towards the wing broadcast side of the ground. Delivery is beautiful to Brown, who takes the mark.
Right on centre wing. He's going to go again deep inside 50. Tex flies at the back. Couldn't take the mark. Staying at ground level. Led. Gave it to Lockie Murphy on his right boot across the face of goal and out of bounds. Good game of footy though, Kate, isn't it? Up and down, both teams wanting to move the ball quick.
Definitely, they're trying to get the ball very quickly, moving inside their forward 50. I think the Crows forwards are just getting caught up a little bit high at the moment. Every time they're going inside 50, there's only 1 or 2 numbers in there. If they can reset a little bit more and have some more contests inside 50 and keep it in there a little bit quicker.
So the throw in inside the Crows forward 50, the Hawks win it. They clear their defensive 50, and then Wingard did well, won a crucial contest. And now the Hawks have a bit of run off half back. And they're going to go long to a 1-on-1. It's Kazitsky again, the man with the hot hand. Was in the box seat, dropped the mark. Duday did well, went back and got it. Kazitsky, handball to Phillips. Wobbles one inside to the top of the square. Tim O'Brien and Kelly. Kelly into O'Brien. Nobody might have touched that. Kelly and O'Brien were worried about each other. And while that was going on, the ball just kept bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. And Tom Phillips can't believe he kicked the goal.
Even the players are in shock. Ben Keys went to pick that ball up and just had his mouth open. He's like, why didn't I go and touch that? Well, I'm asking you the same thing, Mr. Keys.
So on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard, the Hawks...
That we're working on one thing and trying to execute one thing during the week, and we just not...
Talk us through this one, Kate McCarthy, on the Harvey Norman replay.
Yeah, well, he's kicked that from about 65 out. He's just poked it to the top of the square, not even the top of the square, and then it's just rolled all the way through for about 10-15 metres, and Ben Keys, as you said, Bernie, is absolutely beside himself.
He picked up the ball and then put his hand on his head and opened his mouth like he was...
Matthew Nicks almost is laughing at that.
Oh, yeah, I don't think he'd be laughing. We can have a laugh.
Bob Jane teammates, Caitlin Barry.
Just something to keep an eye on. Liam Shields has just had a fair bit of work on his left leg. He's just gone back to the centre bounce, though.
For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M rocks footy. First of a triple header this afternoon. We cross from here to the MCG for the Bombers and the Pies. And then later this evening, it's Port Adelaide versus St Kilda live from Adelaide Oval. Long ball inside forward 50 for the Adelaide Crows. And Thilthorpe is waiting for it to come back from over the fence. Well, there's not a lot of people. He's going to have to go and get it himself. Jumps the fence, jumps back. He's had an interesting start to his career, hasn't he, young Thilthorpe?
He has. Well, he missed his first 2 kicks, absolute shockers. But he's finding a lot of the footy. I'd like to see his stats, Ethan.
5 disposals so far today.
And this is a good kick into the hot spot. And Big Tex, who just sort of shepherded his opponent away from it, so the last step could be in the hole. That was real clever.
Yeah, smart one. He just protected the drop zone, and Scrimshaw was his opponent at the time, a little bit undersized, and just held him out of the position and just came on. It actually took a pretty easy chest mark.
Yep. Just
got there at the end.
You did. Just smart footy from the big man. Coleman medalist, perhaps, in 2021. If his form continues, he'll fire and put this through, you would think, and he does. The Texan, he gets his first of the afternoon as we close in on quarter time with 1:45 left to play of the first quarter. And the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard, 5-2-32 the Hawks. Adelaide, 3 straight goals, 18.
And that'll give the young debutant Riley Thilthorpe a little bit of confidence. He's put that into the perfect spot where there's a lot of space. Just chipped it up and let Tex do the rest of the work, and he's done it really well.
You're right, Joey. He went long with his next kick.
He did. Well, he's had an interesting first quarter. I mean, they have to go... I wouldn't have thought playing AFL, I've got to jump the fence myself and go and get the footy and bring it back. He thought, I've gone up a cog or two, perhaps it'll come back, but it just didn't.
So 1:45 left on the clock in this first term. They needed that one, Adelaide. They get the margin back to 14 points. Been an entertaining first quarter of football here at UTAS Stadium. Both teams moving the ball quick. Wingard in at the centre bounce for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, but the Crows will win it. Keys towards Tex again. Can he mark it this time? He can't, but he'll go and get his own footy.
Oh.
And then he gives Tom Mitchell the big don't argue.
Yeah.
Handballs to Keys under pressure. And it's going to go against Keys for a fend-off, a high fend-off.
It's the second time today Ben Keys has been pinged for a high fend-off as well.
Goes to Chad Wingard. He goes short and wide to Sean Burgoyne. He's been down here to Tasmania plenty of times in his career. Goes popping it towards Liam Shields. A beautiful kick in between three Adelaide Crows. And Shields marks it just back of centre wing. Broadcast side. The ground bathed in sunshine. A wonderful day of football we have. And he goes long down the line. Mitchell Lewis in that contest. Warple wraps up Brodie Smith. And we'll have it thrown up. 80 around from the Hawks goal. 47 seconds left on the clock in this first term.
So an interesting first quarter. The Hawks dominant on this ground, and they'll go in at quarter-time leaders. Seedsman breaks from the pack, though. Advantage paid for the Crows. Seconds left on the clock, and he drives a long ball inside to Himmelberg. And he marks on his chest. He was one out with Giath. He's only about 20 out on a slight angle. A real opportunity presents here for the Crows.
Yeah, Seedsman's having a real impact on this game now, isn't he? He's carrying the ball, kicking the ball long, getting it in quick for the Adelaide Fords. First game of the season for Himmelberg. This is a really important kick for him. Frampton obviously out of the side this week. Kicked 7 in the SANFL yesterday.
7 goals.
Billy Frampton. He was goalless, I think, for 4 weeks.
I was going to say, probably should have put a few of them on it.
Yeah, probably should have done it the week before. He might be out here.
So Adelaide haven't kicked a point. Siren goes for quarter time. Himmelberg should put this through. Slide angle 20 out, and does. 4 straight goals Adelaide. 5-2, 32 the Hawks. Good start to the triple header on Anzac Day. Nice and tight first quarter. Don't forget it's the Bombers and the Pies after this one before he crosses to Port Adelaide and St Kilda. Massive day of Anzac Day football right here on Triple M. We've got Kate McCarthy, we've got Bernie Vince, Joey Montagna, Ethan Meldrum, Caitlin Barry, and from McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
For McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Just like a game of footy, Macca's new McSpicy burger has serious kick.
New to Triple M breakfast in 2021. Mighty Sheer Gold.
So fingers crossed, Freddie. I think he'd be a good medical sub. He's not in their best 22. That's what I'm hearing coming very loudly from the Blues camp. But he might be in their best 23. Might be in their best 23. I don't think so. I'm not sure about that.
We'll never know.
You've been North Melbourne's best 10.
The Mighty Sheer Gold Show. New to Triple M. Weekdays from 6.
Here if you need.
Or hear it anytime on the new Listener app. After a 10-year wait, rock royalty Kings of Leon return to Melbourne in 2022. Performing all the hits and new music from their #1 album, When You See Yourself. Kings of Leon. Friday, April 1 at the Sydney Myer Music Bowl. Telstra Plus pre-sale starts 11 a.m. Wednesday, April 28. Go to telstra.com/music.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
This is Big Brother. I'm going to let you in on a secret. My house has been transformed.
What the hell?
More rooms.
Oh my god.
More secrets.
Let the fun begin.
More than meets the eye. I am Big Brother. I'll see you tomorrow, 7:30.
Since when did beer move in? Time to switch things up for a refreshing alternative.
Just pour me a CC and dry.
Over beer, Canadian Club.
At Coles, there's hundreds of prices down and counting, so the price of breakfast is down. With Coles orange juice 2 litres from the chilled juice fridge, down to $5. Save 25 cents. Coles. Value the Australian way.
G'day, Timbo Reid here, host of the award-winning Small Business Big Marketing podcast. If you're a business owner keen to grow that beautiful business of yours into the empire it deserves to be, then this is the podcast for you. It's full of tried and tested marketing tips and insights to implement immediately. Search the Small Business Big Marketing podcast, download the new Listener app now, and listen for free. Brought to you by Brother. made for today's business.
Listener.
The Medallion Club, the membership that guarantees access to world-class sport and entertainment, including the 2021 Toyota AFL Grand Final. Experience extraordinary with your clients, friends and family through our new premium hospitality offering, including showcase restaurants, Liho Fook and The Gallery. Medallion Club members also enjoy guaranteed reserved seating to all sport and entertainment at Marvel Stadium and all AFL matches at the MCG. Memberships start at $566 per month. Google Medallion Club today.
Right now, Burbank Homes are offering a Colorbond steel roof as a no-cost upgrade on their new and improved Swift collection, with 10 spacious, ready-to-go floor plans for you to choose from. Plus, Colorbond Steel is offering the chance to win $10,000 cash. Enter now at colorbond.com/winbig. Colorbond Steel, made for Australia, loved in Victoria, trusted by Burbank Homes. Conditions apply. See website for details.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. There to support Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
Quarter time at University of Tasmania Stadium in Launceston. Beautiful conditions for footy on this Anzac Day. And a good game of footy here too. It's Hawthorn leading the Crows by 8 points. The Hawks 5-2-32, Adelaide 4 straight 24. Jacob Kazitsky with 3 first quarter goals leads the way. Lee Montagne here with Barry Denner, Bernie Vince, Kate McCarthy, and this man with some of the stats, Ethan Meldrum.
Well, Hawthorn dominated most of the term, and they did it through their clearance work, leading clearances 10-7. Granville gets 25-21. Inside 50s as well, 15-10. But what Adelaide did well is they swung the territory game around in the last little bit. 6 of the last 7 inside 50s. Went at 74% by foot that term as well. Leading ball winners on the ground. Rory Laird leads all comers. He's got 10 touches. Paul Seedsman, 8 disposals. 356 metres gained already. For the Crows, Tom Phillips has 9 touches and a goal. Giath and Warple, 7 apiece. And Kazitsky with the 3 goals, 2 in his previous 4 games in his AFL career, so he's already doubled that.
Did kick 6 in an Amy Community Series game at the start of the year, so can kick a bag. And also joining us today as part of the call team down on the boundary line for Bob Jane T-Marts is Caitlin Barry.
Yes, Joey, a couple of injury concerns, minor ones at that. The Crows, Tom Duday got his ankle strapped at quarter time, so missed the huddle completely. And for Jager O'Meara, he was getting a fair bit of hamster rub on his hamstring in their huddle.
Before we get to Kate McCarthy and Bernie Vince's thoughts on the first quarter, Ethan, for Choice Hotels around the grounds, if you need a break, book direct and save with Choice Hotels, choicehotels.com. Just a reminder of the 2 other big games to follow this one.
Yeah, well, the biggest one, Collingwood-Essendon, straight after this at the MCG. That's going to be a huge clash. And following that, Port Adelaide-St Kilda at Adelaide Oval.
Big one too.
Quick thoughts, Bernie?
Yeah, I just love the Hawks ball movement. We've touched on it a few times, but they look like they're clear directive to take the game on, play on at all costs.
From McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Crows get the first clearance through Laird. A long ball at centre half forward. The Packers smash the ball, spills behind, and Hardigan in the last line of defence for the Hawks claims it, kicks across the goals, defending the bounces out of bounds. Lucky Murphy got very excited. He thought it might be a deliberate. That's the umpires.
Might as well appeal.
It might have a go.
Like cricket, you might as well just appeal.
Exactly.
You never know.
Appeal. Yeah. Go down on one knee.
That's
Boundary throw in forward pocket for the Crows.
McAvoy with a double palmer. Down to ground level, looking for his teammates. And that time they might have a chance. Yeah, that one was paid. Okay. Rory Laird didn't disguise that one too well. And Tom Mitchell was very quick to pick up that football. And he gives the handball off to Giath. And they're in the back pocket here, Hawthorn, but it's in the safe hands of Sean Burgoyne. And he finds a mark in Scrimshaw. Well, Hardigan it is, who gave it to Mitchell. Back to Hardigan. Doesn't know how to find the footy, Tom Mitchell. Doesn't know when to call for it sometimes when he shouldn't, but he gets the handball, gives it back. And then Impey goes wide to O'Meara.
Just a little drive-by, subtle little clip.
Stat him up.
Joey doesn't miss, but do you?
I know the little tricks. So O'Meara, he goes long down the line. O'Brien couldn't take the mark at ground level. The Crows got the numbers. Kelly, but the Hawks' pressure's been very good. Wingard, wonderful tackle. There is Mitchell again. Right spot, right time. And that is a beautiful kick. Popped into the path of Kazitsky. Unselfishly gave the handball to Bruce, who gives the don't argue on Will Hamill and strolls in to kick a goal from the goal square. Nice start by the Hawks. On the Triple M Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, apologies. The Hawks get the first of this second term and they go to 6-2-38. Adelaide 4 straight 24. Nice bit of play and good pressure from Chad Wingard.
Yeah.
That a few times.
That is. Their tackle pressure's been outstanding. Their pressure around the footy, and then they're just taking the game on, playing on at all costs. Even then, a mark inside 50, you'd forgive him for going back slow and having a shot, but just the instinct to play on again and handball off to Bruce. Nice little finish there. Nice little fend off too, Baz, in the goal square.
Yes.
And a nice snap. There's the mark on the Harvey Norman replay. He could have gone back and had a shot there. Another key forward handballing it off, but it must just be ingrained into him this week, because last week they were playing really slow and chipping sideways and just retaining the ball. I'm excited what I see today.
Bob Jane teammates, Caitlin.
Yeah, Hamill's just limped off for the Crows. He's in the hands of the doctors. They're dealing with a left ankle, taking his boot off now.
For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. Out of the centre, the ball's kicked to the outer side wing. Opportunity, Haitley, who shuffled it out further. Giath got in the way for the Hawks, punched it out to O'Meara. He fell over. Punch back to might have been Hanrahan, who got a quick kick out of the pack. Bounces towards half forward. O'Brien used the body, claimed the footy. Hand pass comes out to Big Kajitsky. He kicked 3 in the first term. Low drop punt to Lewis is a beauty. He led to the forward pocket, and geez, Kajitsky has started very, very well.
He's on fire.
He is.
That's a great kick from a key position forward.
That is lovely service when you're leading out of the square and then you get a ball delivered like that straight to you.
He's given a couple off, Kajitsky, hasn't he, Kate? We're not comfortable with that, but I suppose from a team perspective, that's good.
Well, probably when you're on the wing, Baz, you get past it.
Fair enough. Anything forward the centre, Bird.
I like it where you're at, though, with that.
So, Lewis, he kicks across the face of Gon at land short, and Duday makes sure it's a rush point to the Hawks only. So Hawthorn have started well. The Crows are with them, though. Don't worry about that. 6-3-39 the Hawks, 4 straight goals Adelaide. We're 3.5 into the second term on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Oh, the kick in. It didn't work for Brown. Bounced at his feet, so it's going to be turned over. The Hawks are going to go again. Inside 50. Well done, Kelly. Just beat Tim O'Brien to the footy. Took an intercept mark. He's been pretty good in his first quarter in the back line. Jake Kelly.
A few danger signs here early in the second quarter for the Crows. They really need to control the footy a little bit in the first few minutes now that they have some possession of the football. But, yeah, danger signs. Hawthorn are really peppering here early in the second quarter.
Yeah, it looks exactly like what they're trying to do. Kate, good call. Short kick from McPherson to Keys, and then he finds Tex on a long lead. It was a good kick, nice mark. Long way from home, though, Tex. He's at half-back. He assesses his options and finds Brodie Smith.
Baz would want him to have a shot from there, wouldn't you?
He's just forward of the wing, Bert. I thought it was a chance.
They're just a patient build-up, and now once they get over halfway, they can wheel and go, and that's what Seedsman does. Kicks it to the top of the square. McAdam flew at the back. Couldn't take the mark. Burgoyne stayed down. The handball missed Mitchell. So an opportunity here for the Crows, although O'Meara just rips it away. Shields. Burgoyne again. Beautiful kick, and there's Kajitsky up on centre wing. He can't have a shot there, or he might have been better off because he's turned it over, and Laird goes short to Himmelberg.
Yeah, Himmelberg's about 55 out, and he wants to load up the young man, and he does. It's a real long drop punt. It's a beauty. Oh, he's kicked his second. He didn't muck about, did he? He just turned around, spun around, ran 3 steps, and banged it home from about 54. Terrific goal for the Crows. 5 straight goals to Adelaide, 2 to Himmelberg, 6-3-39. The Hawks on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, supporting Sparkies with 7:30 opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon Lighting stores.
It's a bit of a battle of the turnover at the moment, guys. Of the 11 goals that we've had, 9 have come from turnovers, only 2 from stoppage. So whoever can control the ball better and work it down the ground a little bit better is having the run of the green at the moment.
Well, that's a bit of the catch-22, isn't it, Bernie, when you try and play fast footy? Both teams have been good and it's looked good, but you open yourself up for turnovers.
You do the other way, don't you? You run forward of the ball and open yourself up, but really important finish there. That was almost off one step, that kick. He's absolutely flushed that. It looked like for us, because he didn't get a lot of momentum through the ball, it looked like he was going to pass that, but then it just kept going, sailed through.
Elliot Himmelberg's first game for the year. He's got 2 goals for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M Rocks footy. Jager O'Meara tucks the footy under the arm, arches the back, and then sweeps a 30-metre handball. Phillips, the 1-2 with Cousins, back to Phillips. Steps inside, goes in the Kajitsky direction, won't quite get to him at the back. Moore dropped the mark. McPherson, his handball's going to get coughed up. Now a chance for Hawthorn. Mitchell, can he find a mark inside 50? He does. Nice composure. Went wide and found Bruce, who's taken the mark 40 out on a 45-degree angle.
Nice use again, inside 50, lowered the eyes. It actually is it's actually a really good game to watch. I thought it'd be more in the contest and more of a dour type game.
And that was it. And that was what I was told. There was no more 31.
And one table.
416 AFL career goals. Make that 417 goals in his career. He's a beautiful set shot. He's kicked his second. And the Hawks get another one. They go to 7-3. 45. Adelaide 5 straight 30. And we've played just 6.5 minutes in this second term on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Again, a goal off the back of forward 50 pressure from the Hawks. Adelaide actually won the ball back and looked like they were going to clear it, but just the relentless tackle pressure and pressure around the footy, perceived pressure, they were able to win it back and then lower the eyes to Bruce, and he just doesn't miss.
Ethan, Tom Mitchell's stats, particularly this quarter, seems to have had a bit of it already.
Yeah, I was going to point that out. Only the 3 disposals to quarter time, but he's already had 4. Same for O'Meara and Bruce. Both had 2 in the first term. Both have had 3 each in this second quarter already.
It's a good catch cry, isn't it, Kate, the old Bruce? But you just wonder when he retires and has to explain to the little ones later on, the highlights. They're not booing me. They're saying my name. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Long ball towards full forward. Phil Thorpe in the van for the Crows. Taken away by Frost, though, but the rush kick has landed straight into the arms of Keys, who's marked at half forward for the Crows. So he can get it from here. He's dropping onto his boot about 50 out. Does he get the carry, Burn?
He does. He's having a really good year, Ben Keys. You don't reckon he's going to make a joke?
No, he's saying no.
Let's put something on it.
That was off air. I was just
okay.
That wasn't meant to go on air. I don't think he'll make the journey.
What about you, Kate? You reckon he'll get it?
Yeah, I'll back him in.
All right, Kate's believing in Ben Keys. It's a goal. It's a goal.
What did we put on that?
Well, I heard big numbers.
So did I.
I forgot that you could run around.
Oh, you forgot.
He ran on and he kicked it next to the man on the mark. He couldn't move.
You forgot the rules, did you?
Yeah.
Terrific goal for Keys. Crows have kicked 6 goals straight. There's 6 goals, 36 points. 7-3-45 are the Hawks. Good game of footy. 8.5 into the second term. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. For Bob Jane Team Arts, here's Caitlin Barry.
Will Hamill's just come back on after having his left ankle strapped. He tested it up and down the boundary. Seems okay. Gave the doctor the nod.
Bob Jane Team Arts. Get great tyre and wheel deals for safer driving. Visit bobjane.com.au.
Yeah, Steve Hocking's just rubbing his hands together watching that goal be kicked. Last year, probably not a hope, as you said. Joey probably wouldn't have made the distance last year, but this year, with the man on the mark having to stand as a statue, he has rolled nicely onto the left and gained about 5 extra metres that he could have used for sure.
He needed every bit of it, but it was a beautiful kick. And the Crows have got 6 straight. They're going beautifully. And they're back within 9 points for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. They might win the centre clearance again because McHenry off the wing did well. Got it to Fogarty. Goes to the top of the square. Big Tex. He had both mitts to it and then dropped it. He hasn't dropped one of them all season. And he's filthied himself too, Bernie. Have a look at him. Cursing himself.
Yep, hitting himself.
That was going to be goal number 2.
He had it, didn't he? There was actually no pressure on the contest in the end. It was almost uncontested.
Oh, you don't want to be around this pack. The big man's going to hit it hard.
He's angry.
Oh, he's angry.
There he is.
There he is.
He did hit it hard. Went without it. And then Himmelberg's given away a free kick. It's going to go the way of Cole Hardigan, the former Crow.
Someone was going to pay, Bert.
Yeah, I thought,
Bernie, hasn't been a lot of hype about Cole Hardigan playing against his former club. There's been, Isaac Smith and a few other. Joe Danaher. We haven't heard much about Cole Hardigan, Baz.
Fair to say it's sort of slipped under the radar.
So the Hawks work into the wing. Phillips off the side of the boots, kicked it out in the full. So it slipped under the radar. It's 9 points Hawthorn's way.
That's the way he would like it, Baz.
Exactly.
Just no fuss.
Some are humble champions.
All back.
Absolutely. And they're 13.5. What are we? 10.5 into the second term. UTAS Stadium in Tasmania. So Schoenberg off hands, grabs the footy forward pocket. Hardigan drags him down for the Hawks, but the ball has spilled to McHenry. Hand past the big Tex in the square. He's put it through. He's put it through, and the Texans got his...
Go, Hardy, go! At Pepper Money, we spend...
I'm Zen again. 7 straight goals, the Crows. 7 straight goals, 42. 7-3-45, the Hawks. Good game of footy, 11 minutes second term. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yeah, the Hawthorn defenders just let that one get out the back of the pack, and that's exactly where you don't want the ball as a defender. And really good run, though, from the Adelaide Crows. They had 3 or 4 players that were a chance of kicking that. Ran through the contest, and then just an easy handball out the back to Tex, who, was pretty pleased with that after the dropped mark a couple of minutes earlier.
Red Z Lending stats, one of the things that stood out for Adelaide, their ball use. They've obviously kicked the 7 goals straight, kicking at 79% by foot so far this game, up to 94% in this second term. AFL average is 65.
Wow. Sharp quarter
Big
by
numbers.
the Crows.
Yeah.
It's the first of a triple header on Triple M. We're going to have a wonderful day of footy, and this game has been an awesome start for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Free kick's going to be paid the way of the Hawks. Blake Hardwick. Got a real tough head about him, Blake Hardwick.
Yep.
Wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley, Baz.
No, I wouldn't want to meet anyone though, Joey. But
and he's going to get a 50-metre penalty too, so not sure what that was for. Might have been a bit of dissent from one of the Crows. So the man on the mark is inside 50. He's got the leg tats, he's got the arm tats.
Yeah, that's imposing. Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's got the journey. I reckon, quick Bernie, you're the expert. Has he got the journey, Hardwick?
Yep.
He's going to kick this 52 metres. Bernie's called it. He's kicked it wide anyway, so he did have the journey, but not the accuracy. And through from behind, so the Hawks go to 46. Adelaide 7 straight 42. Take a look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Certainly a dangerous tackle against Schoenberg, and then pushed the footy out of Hardwick's hands when he tried to get to his feet, so the 50-metre penalty was there.
Ball kick to the outer side wing. McHenry got a hand on it, taps it to the boundary line. Phillips keeps it in for the Hawks. Little hand pass to Giath was good. He's got to get around McHenry, did pretty well. Hand pass Warple, set him up for the tackle though. Keys came in and claimed him, dragged him to the ground. The umpire says, I'll take it. Footy set underneath Warple. It's Warple's numbers today so far, Ruth.
James Warple, 9 disposals, 3 score involvements as well, Reds Ed Lending stats.
And the ball thrown in the air. O'Brien tapped down to ground level. Running away from the pack. McHenry long ball to Himmelberg in the pocket, had hands on it, dropped it. Hardigan picks it up for the Hawks. Hand pass to Frost, hand pass to Impey at fullback, and a kick just inside defensive 50's okay, and Morrison for the Hawks takes the mark.
We'll just have a little bit of a chance to take a breather. It's been a frenetic game so far. Morrison goes long to the wing, big pack of players. Shields stay down, beautiful front and square. Got O'Meara running. He's looking
tonight. They are still hopeful of being able to fly back to Melbourne tomorrow. But
give it to the runner. Got it back to Hanrahan. Clever kick. Saw Shields had run on inside 50. Will it sit up for him? It will, but the Crows are descending. So he coughed up the handball. And Adelaide now through Kelly and Smith. Just hack it out of the area, but only as far as CJ Giath, who's got Mitchell, gives it to the runner in Scrimshaw. Can he get on his left boot and shoot from 45? Oh, you bet he can. Another turnover goal, and the Hawks are playing wonderful football. They get their 8th, and they go to 52. The Crows are 42, and we've played 14 and a half minutes in the second term. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices, and free delivery from over 100 Beacon Lighting stores.
Yeah, not entirely sure what the Adelaide Crows forwards were doing there. Their direct opponents were just sitting up at the stoppage, just behind the stoppage. Giath got the intercept possession with no pressure on him whatsoever, could just use the ball how he wanted to, and a lovely finish there.
Just looked at that, realised Scrimshaw's first ever goal in AFL football, Bernie. Yeah, caught me by surprise, 31 games. Thought he would have snuck down at least once, but the 22-year-old has got his first ever goal in AFL football, so a nice moment for him.
He'll be pretty happy about it. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. And as Joey said, good game of footy to kick off our triple header for Anzac Day. Before we cross to the MCG, the Anzac Day traditional blockbuster between the Bombers and the mighty Magpies. O'Brien out of the centre, pushed it out the outer side wing. An opportunity for Haitley. Little hand pass and a kick now to half forward for the Crows. Impey will wrestle with Rowe, and both players with a body contact see the ball out of bounds. About 45 around from the Crows' goal. So both right in the contest at the moment. A beautiful day for footy at UTAS Stadium in Launceston. O'Brien tapped down to ground level. Opportunity to Shields to put his head over it. The umpire's whistle's gone. It's going to be a free kick to the Crows. It's going to be taken by Laird. Hand pass off to Scholl. He's 55 out from goal. He kicks towards Himmelberg, the leader. Standing in front was Hardigan. Got smashed. He'll be paid the mark or free kick or both. And he's in the left back pocket for the Hawks. They have the lead by 10 points. And we're 16 minutes into the second term.
Who was the Crow Cole Hardigan punched on with last year? Remember he punched on with his teammate? It was Billy Frampton, wasn't it? Not Himmelberg. Yeah. Bernie Vince doesn't know what I'm talking about.
No.
Gave me a perplexed look.
No.
So the Hawks win the footy back. Phillips kick, turnover. Will Hamill. Didn't you see that footage? Cole Hardigan getting a punch on with his teammate.
Remember. So I think it was a bit more, the media hype was a bit more than what it actually was.
Right, okay.
Has to be a lot more serious than that for Byrne to take an interest.
The old media hype, eh?
Yeah.
As the Crows get the ball inside 50, it falls to Seedsman, the handball from McAdam. That's a wonderful finish. Seedsman in the long sleeve up. He had a similar snap in the first quarter that went out on the full. He made amends that time, and Adelaide have now got 8 straight 48. Hawthorn 8-4-52. Good game of footy. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. 17 minutes gone, second term.
Yeah, not only does it improve your speed, but it improves your accuracy in front of goal as well. Lovely finish, Seedsman in the long sleeve. Why wouldn't you wear one?
I've just had confirmation, Billy Frampton and Cole Hardigan, and there were punches thrown.
Oh, thanks, Bert.
None landed, though, so I'm still not interested.
Sort of has to be Joe Pesci, Robert De Niro style for Bernie to remember that sort of...
Bit like Alistair Lynch and Darryl Wakeland in the 04 Grand Final. Nothing landed, so move on.
4 points up the Hawks over the Crows in a good game of footy. 8 straight goals, Adelaide. And 8-4 the Hawks. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. O'Brien taps down towards Warple. Kicked out of his hands by O'Brien. Hamill came the other way. Punched it back to O'Brien for the Crows. He kicks inside forward 50. Giath dropped back with a fly to the footy. It's a big pack. The umpire's whistle's gone here. It's a free to the Crows. What did you see, Kate?
I think it was a holding free kick against Burgoyne on Tex Walker.
So Burgoyne's still on his haunches on the ground. The free kick's gone the Crows' way. Triple M Harvey Norman replay. There it is. Just a little hold on Thilthorpe, was it?
Thilthorpe
on the front of the pack. Purchase up to, of course, we're 60 months interest free at the moment at Harvey Norman. Receive a bonus gift card. Conditions apply. So Thilthorpe drops it onto his boot from 50 metres out. It's a good kick and it's a long ball and he's got the goal in his first game. Thilthorpe kicks the goal. The Crows, well, they've hit the front. 9 straight goals, 54. 8-4-52 the Hawks. 18.5 second term. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Not sure why you'd be trying to hit a short target with your first 2 kicks when you kick it that long and that straight from outside 50. Beautiful first goal in AFL football.
And they came from everywhere, didn't they? Every player on the ground got around him. Really hard worker, really works really hard in his game. Elite trainer, runs really hard. They actually have to pull him back a little bit. He almost does too much. So you certainly like those qualities in a young draftee.
Hey, Caitlin Barry for Bob Jane T-Marks. Looked like Burgoyne came limping to the bench.
Yes, he looks very ginger. Can hardly wait there on that left ankle after rolling it in that contest. So we'll keep an eye on that.
So the Crows lead for the first time today. They're up by 2 points late in this second term. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Haitley, his first game as a Crow, had a little fumble. Might have been dragged back in there by the Hawks. It will be. So the free kick will go the way of Adelaide. It's going to be Seedsman. What are his numbers for Red Z Lending, Ethan? He's had a good afternoon, Paul Seedsman.
He certainly is. Number 1 ranked player on the ground, 11 disposals in the goal.
And it's a massive kick. He's driven it to the top of the square. And Thilthorpe's kicked 2 in a minute. He roved the pack. And he had a quick little snap from the top of the square. And the big man is making his presence felt on debut. The number 2 draft pick, Riley Thilthorpe's got his second. And the Crows have kicked 10 straight to lead this one by 8 points on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Oh, wow. Move over Tex Walker. There's a new man in town. Have a look at this kid. He's found, what are his stats too? I feel like he's found a fair bit of the footy too, Ethan.
Yeah, he certainly has. 9 disposals, 3 score involvements as well as the 2 goals.
Oh, wow.
Really good awareness from him there. He saw that Fogarty and Himmelberg both were going up for the pack, and as a key forward in your first game, you'd probably be likely to go up for that as well. But he held his feet, he kept on the ground, and then he roved the ball beautifully and finished off with a little dribbler between the goals.
Triple M Seabus Super Special comments. Kate McCarthy and Bernie Vince delivering consistent long-term returns for members Seabus for us all. 201 centimetres, 18 years of age, and he's 102 kegs.
Yeah.
He is a big lad for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. O'Meara out of the centre, tapped his way, runs away for the Hawks, kicks towards inside forward 50, off hands to Bruce. Bruce breaks a tackle, can't break the second, didn't see Keys coming. The ball dragged down towards Duday. Under the pump, the Crows here. Nice little hands to Keys. Hand pass to the back pocket, deep to Butts. It's close to the line. Kajitsky kept it in, but Keys was waiting for the footy for the Crows. Hand pass off to Hamill now. Outside or just inside defensive 50 with a kick. Little hands from Haitley over towards Kelly is smothered out of bounds. And the Hawks lock it in their forward half. Got a player down behind the play. Might be McPherson down there. So 8 points up the Crows with 8.5 minutes left to play in the first half.
Ball thrown back in. O'Brien taps it towards Keys along the boundary line, outer side. Utah Stadium, Walker did really well. Just knocked Frost off the footy and then gave the handball to the running Schoenberg, who saw Murphy. Will it sit in play? It won't. Murphy's not happy. He thought Schoenberg could have handballed it to him the first time. You see McPherson still on hands and knees. He's in a bit of a bad way.
Yeah, he looks in a bit of froth and bubble, doesn't he?
Having a look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, Kajitsky jumped over his back and he's got him, I reckon, right in the shoulder blade. And that does hurt. Duday under pressure, got boot the ball. Sits in front of the two ruckmen. O'Meara just does it so casually. Picked it up one-handed, but then the kick was poor, out of bounds on the full. McPherson looks to be okay. Really enjoying this game of footy, Bernie Vince. It's been pretty free-flowing. I'm not sure whether the coaches are loving the way the game's being played.
They don't
Too many scores off turnover.
Yeah, they don't like the open free-flowing, but we do, watching Joey.
Absolutely.
Long ball towards half forward. Lockie Murphy tracks it. He gets caught around the neck by Impey. He'll get a free kick. So Murphy for Adelaide. He's about 60 from home. Boundary line outer side of the ground. They lead by 8 points, being the Crows' quarter. And they're taking it up to the Hawks at Launceston. Long ball to full. Phil Thorpe in front of the pack has taken a ripping one-grab mark. And the confidence you can see, Kate, is just rising in this young man.
Oozing out of him at the moment. Got a bit of a strut walking back on this mark. Got to finish first, though.
So Phil Thorpe puts the mouthguard in the sock. 201 centimetres, 102 kegs. I wonder what it's like to be that light. He puts it in, and I reckon he's got it. He has. He's kicked 3. He's kicked the last 3 goals of the match. Phil Thorpe is on fire. It's official. And on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, the young man has taken the Crows to 11 goals straight. You've got to get into those record books, Ethan Meldrum. It's time. They're 11 goals straight. The Adelaide Crows, 8-4-52, the Hawks, Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yeah,
sorry, Benny, you go.
That's a big grab, isn't it, from a first-year player. Went up against 3 opponents, dragged it down, and he's a nice finisher too, Baz. We've learnt that about him. Maybe not the little short inside kicks, though. We'll just get him shooting a goal.
It was a nervous start, but, boy, has he made his presence felt in this game. Wow. 3 goals now, 10 disposals. And we've seen a bit of everything. A crumb, a free kick, and now a big contested mark from the big fella. So the Crows have got out to a 14-point lead after kicking the last 4 goals. Can the Hawks respond? From McDonald's and Ream, hot water. Centre bounce. O'Meara shovels it out the wingard. Bruce goes into the pocket. Kajitsky at the back. Oh, well done, Duday. Got a fist to the ball, front of the pack, and the ball goes out of bounds. We'll just go back down to the boundary line. Caitlin Barry, a couple of injured players still on the bench for both sides.
Yes, the veteran Sean Burgoyne there's a fair bit of concern around his left ankle. They've strapped it up, but he's testing it out and running up and down the boundary, hopping up and down, but there's a fair bit of deliberation between him and the doctors. McGuinness is warming up as well, so we'll keep an eye.
So the sub warming up for the Hawks, Ethan Meldrum.
Red Z lending stats. Adelaide have only made it to half-time without scoring behind 3 times in their history. One of those was last year in the shortened quarters, though.
Red Z Lennings there, the great Ethan Meldrum, who's flying as always. The ball will be thrown in the air here. There'll be a ball up.
Chu's taking him under his wing.
Yes.
Great job.
Yeah, and it's great that they've formed that bond. Who's Laird at half-back. Took a while. Laird at half-back, kick to the outer side wing. Ash, a bit protective of his space.
Been frosty at times.
Yep, bounces out of bounds. The kick, outer side wing, but it's good now.
How is that relationship? Does he sort of have to pull you back a bit at times? Or?
Well, I did run into him yesterday. I ducked up into the commentary box to see him, and
it was awkward, Bernie.
It was a little bit frosty.
I was in there. It was
going on.
Very awkward.
Oh, you must be getting too good at this.
Ethan said g'day to Chu. Chu didn't say g'day back.
Oh, what is that? I'm working. Leave me alone.
No, he didn't even say that.
Just fresh head, yeah.
Just a look.
He's got a bad look too, hasn't he?
The ball thrown in right on centre wing. The Crows lead by 14 points. Remember, this is the first of a triple header on Triple M all day today. And the kick goes towards half forward. Mitchell couldn't get there. Chu's listening, Ethan. So give us some of the big ball winners, please, for this first half.
Rory Laird leading all comers, 17 touches. Ben Keys, 14, 9 of those contested as well. Tom Phillips leading the way for the Hawks with 14 disposals.
Gia from the stoppage. Just sweeps a handball wide to Impey. They get some run off half back. They need a goal here, Hawthorn, late in the second term. Hanrahan on the Toyota logo. Wants to come in board. Oh, it's a dangerous kick. It's a poor one. Turnover. Can the Crows make them pay on the counter-attack? Seedsman with that long boot goes to a one-on-one. Himmelberg and Scrimshaw. Himmelberg again got 2 hands to it. Drop the mark. Hawks get numbers back. Hardigan, the former Crow that nobody's spoken about, sees the ball go out of bounds. 5:31 left on the clock. Adelaide 11 straight 66. Hawks 8-4-52. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
It's a problem, the Hawks. I mean, looking at it on paper, he's a tall young man, but you got Walker, Himmelberg, and now Philthorpe, all looking dangerous. Quick kick out of the pack.
Tex.
And Big Tex has grabbed it from the forward pocket and kicked his third. So the big forwards really worrying the Hawks now. And the big Texan, the leader in the Coleman medal, has kicked the Crows 12th straight goal. As we look in the Harvey Norman replay, Tex just grabbed it out of the ruck and just slammed it onto his boot from the forward pocket. His confidence up. 12 straight goals Hawthorn at the Crows. They lead by 20 points now, 8-4-52 the Hawks. An amazing scoreline on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, everyone talks about how good Tom Hawkins is inside 50 in a ruck contest, and Tex Walker has said, hold on to this. I am just as good. I'm going to take this out of the ruck, take on my fellow ruckman, and kick it truly for a goal. Wonderful goal by Tex Walker.
He's up against Ben McAvoy too. It wasn't like it was a second ruck. He's a big man, big boy McAvoy, and he just made him look silly there, Tex. I think he was just worried Philthorpe was taking a bit of his limelight, so he needed to step up and do something.
Yeah, not just slow down now,
just hang on, this is my town.
Yep.
His 31st birthday today, Tex, and he's kicked 3, and he's got his team out to a 20-point lead. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, still 5 minutes to go in this second term. There's been 20 goals kicked. Loving this game. Wingard, he's been trying hard, taps the ball forward. Bruce been busy. That handball though, turnover, pressure by the Crows is good. Keys steps in and out of traffic. Gives it to the left footer in Hamill. Goes towards half forward. Oh, big boy. No. Dropped one. Balls to Tex. Gives the handball to Himmelberg. Can he find a mark inside 50? They're streaming forward, the Crows. Hardigan had a fumble. Murphy's going to flip the handball. McHenry's going to stroll in. He made it more difficult than it needed to be, but he's kicked another one. And the Crows have got 13 straight. Ethan, what's the record for the most goals without a miss, please?
I can tell you Adelaide's record for Reds at Lending Stats, 10 goals straight, is the best they've ever achieved without kicking it behind to start a game.
Well, they've smashed that now. It's now 13 straight. I want the competition record, please.
Yep.
Not just the Crows.
We'll have to call Ash.
Ash sure would have known it. 13 straight. I don't know what. Hawthorn 8-4-52. It's now a 26-point lead, Bass.
It is. It's amazing.
Blink of an eye. We'll give you time, Ethan. We'll give you time.
It's just when you call Ash, you're just not sure what phone to call because he does run a couple. He's got a couple running, and you know what they say about them.
Two-phone chewer.
Geez, something really.
Watch out.
Two-phone chewer.
Two phones.
Oh, I don't know. He's using both of them flat out the other day.
Oh, no. Well, it's a 26-point lead on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. The Crows are on fire with 13 straight. From McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. O'Meara tries to just take responsibility for the Hawks. Smash the pack, grab the footy, kick towards full forward. Kaczynski, who started real well with 3 goals, give a couple off. He's on the boundary line, hand pass to Hanrahan, but the boundary umpire said he went. No, he threw the ball. So it's going to be a free kick to Adelaide. It'll be taken by Hamill. So the Crows doing it beautifully at the moment. How many goals this term, Heath, for Adelaide compared to Hawthorn's outs because they led by 8 points at quarter time, the Hawks?
It's 9 goals straight for Adelaide this term. Hawthorn 3 goals too.
So there you go. Yeah, just doing it nicely at the moment. The Crows from half back. Now a kick to the outer side wing. And the big man
just having a little bit of trouble with
side for Adelaide.
Although there might be a free kick off the ball. And it was paid against the Crows. The other way, Tim O'Brien. So they needed that, Hawthorn. I think he was blocked off the footy. That's why O'Brien was able to take that uncontested mark. So just under 4 minutes left in the half. Hawks need to reply, although, Tim O'Brien kicked it straight to Riley O'Brien, who was on his own, and he's dropped another mark. So it'll be thrown in, half forward. Outer side here at University of Tasmania Stadium. Crows, 13 goals straight. Ethan's still trying to dig up the record for us. Most goals without a behind.
Yeah, stand by, Joey.
That's all right, mate. Mitchell wins the clearance, wobbles it inside 50, and there's going to be a free kick paid. Is it going to go the way of the Hawks? It is. To Mitchell Lewis against Jordan Butts for an arm hold. And it's fair to say the Hawks need this one.
Yeah, Adelaide had all the play, and they absolutely dominated this quarter. I don't want to interrupt you here, Ethan, but I think we saw 10 goals kicked in a quarter at Geelong yesterday, 9 so far for Adelaide. What's the record there this year?
Lewis lays back and sneaks it home, and they needed that one, the Hawks. They get their 9th. Generally, that's a pretty good first half of football if you've kicked 9 goals. but not when you've conceded 13. And on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, Hawthorn moved to 9-4-58, back within 20 points. Adelaide 13 straight, 78. And we still have 3 minutes left in this first half.
Yeah, just the hold in the contest, wasn't it? That's what the free kick was for. He's had a really good season, Jordan Butts, too. He gets the number one role now, Adelaide, for on the key forwards, and got the job today on Lewis, and just sort of found himself out of position there and just grabbed his arm and clear free kick and a nice finish.
So a 20-point lead now for the Crows after Lewis pegs the lead back a little bit for the Hawks. 9 goals for the Crows this term, and they've got 13 goals straight. For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. Bounces good. McAvoy thumps it forward for Hawthorn. It's vacant territory, so a race for the footy. Hamill gets there first for the Crows. Hand pass off to Seedsman. Seedsman, long kick across the wing outer side. Bounces high. Keys tries to tap it to the advantage of Big Tex, who sees it out of bounds. Bob Jane Teamarts, Caitlin Barry.
Yes, a bit of concern around Sean Burgoyne. He's now gone down the race with the doctor and the physio after having his ankle strapped up on the bench. He tested it out, but still doesn't look confident in it, and now he's gone down the race for extra treatment.
There's big news for the Hawks. Game 395 for Burgoyne. The Crows win another stoppage. Can they get another goal? Jimmy Rowe kicks it to the top of the square. But the Hawks have sent big boy McAvoy behind the footy just to steady the ship. The man who's 30, but he acts like he's about 45. Big boy McAvoy. He's got a wise head on his shoulders. Yes. Oh, that kick, not a great one. Only as far as Seedsman. And those long sleevers. And he's going to wheel and drive it straight back to where it came from. Himmelberg's in the box seat. Phil Thorpe's already kicked 3. Nearly took another mark. Couldn't quite. Hardwick. Oh, he had a fair bit of opportunity.
Holding the ball.
And he is going to get paid holding the ball. They can raffle it. Who's going to try and take it? There were 3 Crows that laid the tackle. Shane McAdams says, thank you.
He's very
I'll take that one. And he'll go back from 10 out straight in front to make it 14 straight, Ethan.
Still doing some digging.
That's all right, mate.
Wait, you want a bigger shovel? Or?
Ash just not answering his
phone. We'll try the other one.
Send out a text to Ethan. So Shane McAdam already got 1 this afternoon, got his second. And Adelaide have got 14 goals straight before half-time. We think it might be a record, but we're not quite sure because Ethan's still searching. But it's 14 straight, 84. And the Hawks, they're 9-4-58. Still a minute 40 left in this second quarter.
He's just watching a movie on his computer. Again, a goal off good forward 50 pressure. Again, both sides have been really good with the pressure around the footy. They're tackling pressure. Look at that. 1 tackle, 2 tackles. 3 players were in tackling him. As a gang tackle, the pressure around the footy's been outstanding, both sides, and they've scored off the back of it.
It's a big quarter of footy. 4:58 Hawthorn. Walker's got 3 already for the Thilthorpe, 3 for the Crows as well. And for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. We're 35 minutes now into this second term. We're still a minute and a half left to play of game time. Warple at the bottom of the pack, shuffles it out to Morrison, another one to Wingard. He's got space, runs out of the centre. Long ball to Kajitsky. Doesn't mark, hands on the footy. Whistle goes.
Free kick, arm chop.
Arm chop, he'll get the free kick. So he's deep forward pocket. He just looks around to his teammates and just says, calm down, everyone.
Is that what that means?
I've got it. I've got it. Relax.
Yeah, well, he's passed off a couple, so he said, you know what, guys, I've kicked 3, may as well have a line up and kick my 4th.
Yep, word has gone down from the Triple M broadcast box. Selfish, selfish, selfish. Just get it done. So Jacob Kajitsky's kicked 3 goals. Hasn't missed one yet today. Under a minute left to play in the second term. Boundary line. He's about 35 metres out. He fires. It's not a bad drop. Punt. Does it come back? No. He's pushed it right and it's through for a point. 9-5-59 the Hawks. 14 straight goals. 84 the Crows. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. We've got about 48 seconds left to play of this second quarter.
So Brody Smith will run his 15 metres and goes long towards the wing. Phil Thorpe and Hardigan. The spoil comes down to McAvoy. As we said, gone behind the football late in this quarter to steady the ship. Oh, a big fly from Brown. Couldn't take the mark over the back. And the ball will trickle out of bounds 60 metres around from the Hawthorn goal. 32 seconds left on the game clock. Been a 10-goal quarter for the Crows.
Incredible.
4 for Hawthorn, and they've split this one wide open as Rory Laird wins another clearance, kicks a Thorpe towards Phil Thorpe. couldn't take the mark, but he mops up his own work. Went for that little kick. He's got to put that one away. Smothered. Haitley, although the free kick against Thilthorpe lingered on CJ Giath. And with 15 seconds to go, can the Hawks try and squeeze one late?
Yeah, he's got it short, Joey. He's gone for the short option in Cousins, who'll go long to half forward. Now needs a mark. 7 seconds on the clock. Lewis in front, didn't mark. Hand pass O'Meara. Does he have a snap? No. Runs into tacklers. Dispossessed, 30 out. And the siren goes. Bit of push and shove. Luke Bruce and Kelly come together. Big Fogarty gets in amongst that pack. Kazitsky tries to separate them. A frustrating term for the Hawks. The Crows lead Hawthorn by 25 points. 10 goals to 4 that term for the Adelaide Crows. They're 14 straight goals, 84 to 9-5-59. Joey Montagna, Bernie Vince, Kate McCarthy, Ethan Meldrum, Caitlin Barry, and for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. There to support Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M Rocks Footy.
built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
And following this game, join the Temper Mattress call team for the traditional Anzac Day clash between the Pies and Bombers.
MCG erupts!
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M Rocks Footy.
Craving a combo? At Coles Express, grab any Coles Express branded hot food item 175 gram plus a Dare, Monster or Coca-Cola can 500ml variety or Powerade 600ml variety for just $6.
Express yourself!
At Coles Express. Selected stores only. T's and C's apply.
Get more of the best with Star on Disney Plus. You want movies and TV with explosions? Strap yourselves in.
Okay, Commando, Die Hard, Independence Day, Commando, Armageddon, Deadpool, Taken, Commando, Speed, Commando, Con Air, Homeland, Air Force One, Gone in 60 Seconds, Commando, Prison Break. Did I say Commando?
About 100 times?
There's like 100 explosions.
More action, suspense, explosions. Now there's even more to explore with Star on Disney Plus. Now streaming. Subscription required. Conditions apply.
What you doing?
Trying to find a new NBN plan. There's so many out there.
Easy. Go with TPG NBN 100. You get 85 megabits per second typical evening speeds for just $79.99 per month for the first 6 months. So it's amazing for streaming and gaming.
Sorted! I'm switching to TPG NBN 100.
tpg.com.au. $89.99 thereafter. Typical evening speeds are measured from 7 to 11 p.m. Speeds vary. For terms, see website.
This isn't the Rocky Mountains. It's actually Kangaroo Island, an easy adventure in the new Nissan Navara, with optional 360-degree intelligent around view monitor with off-road mode. And that bear isn't having you for dinner, but maybe some eucalyptus, and then a nap. Frightening. Travel the whole world of Australia in the new Nissan Navara.
Open your ears to a new world of audio on Listener.
Yeah, it's got all your news, music and podcasts and radio all in the same spot. That's pretty handy.
The first thing I do is get the headlines from the morning agenda, and then for the deeper conversations I go into the briefing. So I kind of use a bit of both.
Well, I just love that it's free. Listener. Radio, podcasts, music and news. Download the new app and listen for free.
Listener.
The new Pazload Framemaster is still the latest tool in its class. Now with quicker, easier nail loading, longer fan cycle for improved performance, and slip-proof grip for greater comfort. I'm making it with Pazload. Reliability, comfort, performance.
G'day there, it's Luke Boney here, and as you know, I love my Power Pollen, and I keep saying, just give it a go. With a little help from Power Pollen, you can get your day done, and then you even have more in your tank for fun. Right now, 200 caps of Power Pollen, just $65. It's over a 3-month supply. And if you choose that special offer, it includes 2 bonus bars of the pollen and honey soap. Get your day done, have more in your tank for fun with Power Pollen. Order online at powerpollen.com.au.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
And following this game, join the Temper Mattress call team for the traditional Anzac Day clash between the Pies and Bombers.
MCG erupts!
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M Rocks Footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M Rocks Footy.
This halftime break for Bosch Power Tools and Accessories. Good, better, Bosch.
Wow. The Hawks held an 8-point lead at quarter time at UTAS Stadium in Launceston. They've won many, many games of football here, but the Crows exploded in the second term. They kicked 10 goals straight to Hawthorn's 4, and they led it by 25 points at half-time. Adelaide, 14 goals straight, 84. Hawthorn 9-5-59. This is the half-time break for Bosch Power Tools. Bosch Power Tools and Accessories, good, better Bosch. Jay Montagna, Bernie Vince, and Kate McCarthy, Caitlin Barry on the banjo line. Old Baz here as well. But Ethan Meldrum, we'll go to you first now. 14 goals straight. Is that some sort of record?
It is some sort of record. It's the most ever, the most accurate half ever in VFL AFL history. The next most was 11 goals. Let me find that one again. But 11 goals was the previous record. 14 to half-time is the new.
So the Crows breaking records this afternoon. The first Anzac Day clash, of course, got the triple header today, Byrne and Kate. We've got the big game between the Bombers coming up against Bombers and Collingwood, I should say, and Port Adelaide, St Kilda a little bit after that. So a big day of football. But what a first half of footy we've seen here. And the Adelaide Crows have turned it on in that second term.
Yeah, I reckon the Adelaide fans at home in Adelaide would be very, very excited what they've seen of Riley Thilthorpe, because, you know, their last 3 years they've taken Chase Jones, pick 9. They actually bidded, I think, for Taron Thomas, but North Melbourne matched it. So they got Chase Jones, and then pick 6 was Fisher Mackesy, he's a key position player, key defender as well, taking a little bit longer probably to come on. But then Thilthorpe, obviously the first is the highest pick Adelaide's ever had, number 1 pick, and everyone was thinking, you know, we don't want to get this wrong, and obviously this kid can seriously play, and I really like what they've done. They didn't rush him in round 1, had some groin issues, I think it was, a bit last year, so they've just managed his training, managed his way through, and they've just picked him at the right time, because you could forgive Adelaide for just throwing him in straight away because he's a number 1 pick. They've made him get in some good form and then come in when he's ready.
And there was a little bit of criticism that they stuck with the South Australian. They could have taken Logan McDonald, who was a bit more highly touted. But at the moment, it's only early stages. But 3 goals and 11 disposals in his first half of football, and what he's done, what the eye test, Bernie, you can tell that he can seriously play.
He's a start.
Yeah, he's been really good, and also the support from Tex Walker down there. There was a few where he had a contested mark, and Tex shepherded his man, he helped him out, and who better to learn from at the moment than the best key forward in the game this year. Tex taking him under his wing, and he looks a bit like Tex. He's huge and very muscular, so he looks very athletic and ready to go.
He can play up the ground too. He can play on a wing. He's got a huge tank. So, if he's not finding the footy or not getting a lot of looks at it, you can push him up the ground as well and use him in there.
The question I would ask, Bernie, put your Hawthorn supporters hat on. Would you rather the Hawks be coached like they've sort of been done for the most part of this year, coached to be competitive? So we've seen they've been a slow team, they've controlled the ball, but they've been in most games. They've been competitive. Or would you rather see what you've seen from Hawthorn today, where they have tried to play on much more, take the game on, play a bit more free-flowing, attacking football, but it's bit them on the backside and they've been scored against? If you're a Hawthorn supporter, what would you rather see from your team?
I like what I've seen today, but that's, you asked if I was a supporter, and I've liked what I've seen today because it's been fast, they've played on, and it's almost like the opposite to what they've played in the first 5 rounds. We've seen them just instinctively play on. They're even playing on inside 50, just taking the game right on. I like to see that. I know coaches don't really like. What's hurt them is on the turnover they've been hurt the other way. So that's the risk I guess you take when you're playing like that. But early on, we saw him get out to a 14 or 15 point lead at one stage too, playing really good footy by playing on. I guess it's that balance though, isn't it? Finding the right times to go fast and right times to hold it up and retain the footy.
Yeah, they were up by 20 points when Tom Phillips kicked the goal midway through that first term, but it's been all Adelaide since then.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Alistair Clarkson has seen this matchup and said, all right, it's probably a team that's similar to us. We're both sort of on the rebuild, I suppose. And let's play with some freedom today. Let's see what we can do. Let's play a little bit faster than we have. Adelaide have been susceptible when the ball has turned over, so why not play fast, play football? Whereas in previous matches coming up against opponents who are probably at the top of their game at the moment and really building towards finals, they've played probably a tighter game where they haven't wanted to be blown out of the park, and like we saw last week against Melbourne, they were in the contest till 3/4 time.
It'll be interesting to see what the coaches roll with in the second half. Do they still play this attacking style, both sides, or particularly Matthew Nicks, does he tell his boys just to be a bit more careful, or does Clarko say, hey boys, we've been going way too fast, we're turning the ball over? It'll be interesting to see what the second half looks like in this game.
Big numbers please, Ethan Meldrum, Triple M Red Z Lending Stats.
Well, the leading ball winner so far, Rory Laird, up to 20 disposals to half-time, 10 in each term so far, and 10 of those contested. Ben Keys, number one ranked player on the ground, 16 disposals, 6 clearances, and a goal as well. Paul Seedsman, 15 disposals, 726 metres gained already. That's double the next best on the ground, plus a goal. For the Hawks, Tom Phillip, 14 touches and a goal. Giath, 13. Jager O'Meara, 12.
Choice Hotels around the grounds, Heath. Of course, a big day of football coming up.
Yeah, and it doesn't get much bigger than Anzac Day, which is straight after us at the MCG, and that game's followed by Port Adelaide St Kilda at Adelaide Oval.
Bombers and the Pies coming up, and what a team we've got there as always. Mark Howard, Luke Darcy, the great Wayne Carey, Ross Lyon will be there, Mickey Roberts, Ash Chua. That's a solid team, Joey.
Solid team.
Yeah.
Love listening to Ross Lyon.
Yeah, we do. We do. Amy Clangers, we love them at halftime.
Yes.
We've all been involved in them. We've all had our turn, and sometimes it happens here in the broadcast area, sometimes out on the ground. Amy, who covers Clangers? Amy does. Lucky you're with Amy. And we saw an interesting one, Joe. I think you were calling it when a ball gets delivered inside or towards forward 50 to the leading forward, and all of a sudden it sort of doesn't work out like that, but it works out for the good. Let's have a listen to what happened.
Kajitsky, handball to Phillips, wobbles one inside to the top of the square. Tim O'Brien and Kelly. Kelly and Tim O'Brien. Nobody might have touched that. Kelly and O'Brien were worried about each other, and while that was going on, the ball just kept bouncing and bouncing and bouncing, and Tom Phillips can't believe he kicked the goal.
Even the players are in shock. Ben Keys went to pick that ball up and just had his mouth open. He's like, why didn't I go and touch that? Well, I'm asking you the same thing, Mr. Keys.
Ben Keys, as you said, Bernie, is absolutely beside himself.
He picked up the ball and then put his hand on his head and opened his mouth.
I really like that. Was a real good team, bit of chemistry there. You chimed in with your ho-ho.
Yeah, ho-ho. That's what I
and then Bernie chimed in and Kate capped it off. It was a beautiful bit of...
No, you were good too, Joey.
Thanks.
Don't understand.
well
bouncing,
played,
bouncing.
That's good. We're going to catch our breath and come back to UTAS Stadium in Launceston. At the moment, the Crows lead by 25 points. They've kicked 14 goals straight. If you're just joining us, 9-5-59, 14 straight is a record. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy.
That halftime break for Bosch Power Tools and Accessories. Good, better, Bosch.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Malloy on Triple M.
Bad gelati could be illegal under a new Italian law. They're declaring war on ice cream sellers who pump compressed air into their mixtures to make them look fluffier.
Oh, I see.
Oh, you can't do that. Imagine going to a gelati van and getting your gelati, which is like a balloon. Like helium balloon. Float. Because I love my gelati.
Oh, look at you. Of course you do.
Okay. Yellow card, Dave. Yellow card.
Get the Malloy podcast by downloading the Listener app now. Mix back tomorrow, Arvo from 4 on Triple M.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
This is Big Brother. I'm going to let you in on a secret. My house has been transformed.
What the hell?
More rooms.
Oh my god.
More secrets.
Let the fun begin.
More than meets the eye. I am Big Brother. I'll see you tomorrow, 7:30.
Australia is full of unbelievable stories, and Furphy is on a mission to find them. So, tell us your Furphy by May 31 and they'll shout your beer. What makes a great story? Well, it starts with the truth, but it doesn't end there. All Aussies have a Furphy worth telling, so go on, give us your best. Share your tall tale with us and they'll shout you a Furphy refreshing ale or a crisp lager. Head to furphyunbelievable.com to enter.
The new Nissan Navara has landed. It's got a 3.5-tonne brake towing capacity, 1-tonne payload, and an intelligent off-road around view monitor. Head to your Nissan dealer for a test drive. T's and C's apply.
Keeping your business connected as you grow from here to here. It starts with a business mobile plan that helps you work on the go. Search Optus Business today. Great business starts with yes.
At CMI Hino, our expert sales team makes sure your truck is legal and compliant. Visit our Derrimut showroom today.
CMI Hino, Melbourne's home of Hino trucks.
At Coles, we're helping lower the cost of your weekly shop with great fresh offers. Like juicy in-season Aussie Royal Gala or Pink Lady apples, just $3.50 a kilo. Helping lower the cost of your weekly shop. Coles. Value the Australian way. Offer ends Thursday.
There's so much happening in the city right now, it's enough to give you FOMO.
Party proud at Midsummer Festival, live at the Sydney Maya Music Bowl. Browse the stalls for local Mother's Day gifts at the District Docklands Makers Market. Don't miss the final film screenings in the majestic Royal Botanic Gardens at the Outdoor Moonlight Cinema. And take the kids to play at Pixar Putt, the pop-up mini golf course for all ages at Fed Square. Get to the city or get FOMO. Search FOMO Melbourne to see what's on.
Catch Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show and more live or on demand on the Listener app.
Hello, it's Damien Carbon with your national news briefing. The Prime Minister has reflected on the lives lost and the toll paid during the war in Afghanistan at Canberra's dawn service this morning. It's after he announced our departure from the Mid-East country last week. Scott Morrison paid tribute to the 41 Australian lives lost during the conflict.
More than 39,000 Australians have served on operations in support of Australia's mission in Afghanistan. Many
Kolodjasny went without. Blitzars was strong. Good hands, Guthrie.
They are the bravest of this generation.
To Western Australia, and the people of Perth and the Peel region are spending their second year in a row commemorating Anzac Day from their homes and driveways. They're currently in day 2 of lockdown after it was discovered a COVID-19 positive traveller spent 5 days in the community while infectious. Since then, 2 more people have tested positive, with WA Health updating their list of at-risk venues on their website. Meantime, West Australians are now on edge as they await today's COVID test results. So far, New Zealand, Victoria, Queensland, Tasmania, South Australia and the NT have all closed their borders to arrivals from Perth as of Friday night. New South Wales health authorities are quizzing travellers on arrival. And in India, they're continuing to struggle with the deadly COVID-19 spike. Oxygen is running out in hospitals, with the subcontinent clocking almost 350,000 new infections in just one day.
Don't miss the fantastic Furniture Sleep Savers sale. Save on a great range of selected mattresses and go into the draw to win back your mattress purchase. Hurry, find your fantastic in-store or online.
Checking Melbourne's weather, staying wet tonight and tomorrow to start off the week, with fog in the northeast and a top of 18 degrees. Showers lessening on Tuesday, then sunny Wednesday. Get more news and information live on our Listener app. Download and listen for free.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
I'm nearly ready for the second half of this game here at UTAS Stadium in Launceston, where the Adelaide Crows lead Hawthorn by 25 points. They trailed by 8 points at quarter time, but they have 14 goals straight, 84. The Hawks have 9-5, 59. Kajitsky kicked 3 goals in the opening term for Hawthorn, but Riley Thilthorpe kicked 3 goals for Adelaide in that second term. Tex Walker's got 3, Shane McAdams got 2. And they currently lead by 25 points. Lee Montagna here with Kate McCarthy, Ethan Meldrum, Bertie Vince, Barry Denner and Caitlin Barry on the boundary line. This is the halftime break for Bosch Power Tools. Bosch Power Tools and Accessories. Good, better, Bosch. Bernie, the other game for Choice Hotels around the ground to follow this one. It's the big MCG blockbuster between the Pies and the Bombers. Just a quick word on your thoughts for that game.
Yeah, both teams obviously been in better positions in other seasons, both at 1 and 4 at the moment and coming off pretty bad losses last week, but it's all about injuries for me. Collingwood, they lost Jeremy Howe and De Goey again last week, so their injuries are really mounting up, and Jordan Ridley goes out of the side for Essendon as well, who's been probably in all Australian form.
Start him again. O'Neill missed with the handball. Guthrie picked it up.
One game, but I don't know. It's hard to predict this one, Joey. I don't know what way. Collingwood have served up some putrid performances, and then they surprise us and go well. So I feel like Collingwood win today, but that's it could go either way, this one.
Yeah, fair enough. Hey, Kate, there's both teams are back out on the ground warming up for the second half. What can you see Hawthorn doing to try and get themselves back in the contest? Do you think they have to keep playing this attacking style of football, or are there some adjustments they need to make?
I think Clarko will go back to a little bit more controlled style of football in this second half. I think whilst the play on the fast-flowing football has been scoring them goals, it's also been hurting them the other way with a lot of intercepts from the Adelaide Crows and a lot of scores coming from both teams from intercepts. So I see Clarko saying, let's just slow it down a little bit, boys. Let's play a little bit more contested football and, slow up, try and get our hands back on the footy and slow down and get the ball forward a little bit.
Hey, Caitlin Barry on the boundary line for Bob Jane Team Arts. It's been another horrible weekend for injuries across the competition, and there's been another star ruled out of this game.
It is the veteran Sean Burgoyne. He is done for the day after that ankle injury that occurred about halfway through that second quarter. He went down to the rooms late in the quarter and has been there since over the halftime break. So Finn McGuinness has come out to warm up with the Hawks. He'll come in as the medical sub.
So players getting in positions for the big second half. Just recapping a couple of those big stats, please, Ethan, that have come out of this first half.
Well, it was the most accurate first half ever by a side. 14 goals straight for Adelaide. There were 4 teams in VFL AFL history previously that kicked 11 straight in a half. Essendon had done it 3 times, twice against Collingwood as well, so a bit of a lead into today. But yeah, most accurate half in VFL AFL history for Adelaide.
Of course, IJ Liquor have got you covered this footy season. Get your favourite spirits, beer and wine. Head to ijliquor.com.au to find your nearest store. IJ Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent. He's the people's champ, Barry Denner, for a big second half.
Thanks, Joey. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Kick out of the centre for the Crows. Bounces towards half forward. Frost comes off half back for the Hawks. They need a good start here, the Hawks, to try and repel what has been a very good performance from Adelaide. The Crows at half forward. It's a footy that's in dispute. And Warple at the bottom of the pack pushed it up to O'Meara. Another one to Frost by hand. They're still trying to get it out of half back. Little scrubby kick, called play on by the umpire, was marked by Keys. Spills to ground level to Rowe. Rowe with a hand pass out wide to Scholl. Scholl for Adelaide, kick inside. Thilthorpe's caught out of position. Impey dropped the mark though. Tex Walker lays the tackle. Footy still in play, and Scrimshaw will see it out of bounds after being tackled by Rowe. So the Crows lock it in their forward pocket early.
Bathed in sunshine, UTAS Stadium, Launceston. Triple header on Triple M. Big day of Anzac Day footy. McAvoy tapped down to Mitchell and O'Meara. His handball misses the mark, and again, it'll go out of bounds for a throw-in. It's a 10-4 second term in favour of Adelaide. And they turn a 20-point deficit into a 25-point half-time lead. Rolly O'Brien does the ruck work inside forward 50. Impey tried to barge his way through. Wrapped up by Rory Laird, who's had another wonderful game. 20 disposals, 21 disposals now. Potentially a smoky for the Brownlow, Bernie Vince. I reckon he'd have 6 or 7, maybe 8 Brownlow votes already.
Yeah, getting a heap of the footy, and teams putting some time into him too. He's been tagged the last few weeks.
Darcy Fogarty bursts out of the stoppage, gives it to Scholl, goes from the pocket. Thilthorpe again, it's kick number 4. Riley Thilthorpe on debut. Took the mark up against the goalpost and then snapped his 4th goal of the game. And this is some sort of debut. And on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard, they now go to 15 goals straight, 90 the Crows. The Hawks 9-5-59, opening minutes, third term.
I've got another question for you, Heath, and you can get back to me whenever you want. I'll give you plenty of time. Most goals on debut by a player.
That's Adrian McAdam. Adrian McAdam kicked 9 for the North Melbourne. Look it up.
It'll be close. I'll look it up for you, Ben.
Now Joey's pointing at him.
I reckon it's Adrian. I reckon Adrian McAdam. I saw that one a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, but let's have a look at the celebration, guys. I reckon he'd be one of the few players on debut to pull out the double cobra. He's pulled out the double cobra after that goal and looked out into the crowd and said, what about that one?
Oh, wow.
And that's Crows' 15th goal straight, Adelaide. 15 straight. They are 9-5-59, plays 90. Adelaide lead from McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. O'Meara had it. His hand pass was smothered. The Crows want to go again. In the back to Laird. No, it's going to be in the back to Wingard, his opponent. And he runs out of the centre for Hawthorn. Long ball towards full forward. 50-metre drop. Punter's good. And Kazitsky, who kicked 3 goals in the first term, has marked 25 out directly in front.
Well, early signs are they're not locking it down. It's open. It's fast. It's up and back again. Only a minute and a half into this quarter, but both sides already having a shot on goal. And yeah, I thought I was with you a little bit. I thought they might have just sort of looked to retain the ball like they have the first 5 rounds, the Hawks, but they're both sides again. They're just free-flowing, open, but that's what we love to see.
So Kazitsky settles with a footy. He'll trot into about 30 metres out for his 4th goal of the afternoon, and he puts it through. Kicked 3 in the first term, now 1 in the third. And the Hawks bite back at UTAS Stadium. 15 goals straight are the Crows. That's 90, 10-5-65 the Hawks. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor proudly local, proudly independent.
Red Head leading stats, Bernie. Most goals on debut. It's not Adrian McAdam. He kicked 7.
Joey.
John Coleman with 12.
Of course.
Former
Come
bomber.
on.
I wasn't around back then.
John Coleman.
What did he kick 12 on debut?
12 on debut.
12 on debut.
However, 4 goals equal most in the last 25 years with Brodie Myercheck, who kicked 4 on debut in 2018.
I reckon John Coleman wasn't a teenager though, was he? He wasn't 18 when he debuted.
No, I had a meal with him that night after. He was very happy.
The Hawks get it back to 25 points.
What did he have, Baz?
Third term. Kajitsky's got 4.
12.
Corned beef.
Laird, another centre clearance for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Tex Walker throws his weight around, then gave the don't argue on Frost and then fumbled the football. Fogarty, Laird, another possession, wobbles one inside 50. It'll go wide and out of bounds. Just being told, John Coleman was 20 when he kicked his 12.
What a star. 98 games, John Coleman, before he had to retire because of a knee. Some say the greatest of all time. So boundary throw-in, 25 points. And they're doing it nicely, the Crows. Out of the pack goes Murphy. Kick to the forward pocket. Himmelberg, was he held? The ball bounced behind him. It was going to be another one, Bird. But it's a point.
Oh, they're booing. They're booing.
The Crows' first point of the day.
Who was that?
Lockie Murphy.
I
Get
tell
him
you
off.
what.
Get him off.
Ethan Meldrum breathes a sigh of relief. He's had a gutsful. 15-1-91 Adelaide, 10-5-65 the Hawks.
Goes wide. Giath under pressure. He's going to get pinged holding the ball. Well done, McAdam. Strong tackle. Shane McAdam, probably related to Adrian McAdam. He kicked 7 on debut. Not quite 12. And McAdam, he's going to unselfishly pop it to the top of the square. Where's Thilthorpe? Tex also flew, couldn't take the mark. Hard again against his old side. Handballed off to Hardwick. 1-on-1, top of the 50. Keys, been a handy recruit for Adelaide, coming from the Brisbane Lions. Pops it to the top of the square. Went to ground, Thilthorpe. And Hardwick took another intercept mark and will try and switch the player to the outer side. Finds Dylan Moore.
So Moore off half-back for the Hawks. Kicks to the outer side wing to Shield, and he marks on the run. So they're on the charge here. Well, the hand pass has been smothered from O'Brien, who received it by hand, and onto what was Brodie Smith. I reckon Scotty Cummings might have kicked the bag on debut as well, Joey. Former, when he started with the Bombers. Might have been an 8-goal haul or something.
Yeah, certainly was, Baz. 8 in 1994.
There you go. Short ball to O'Brien, who marks for the Crows at half forward. Hand pass off to the boundary line where Scholl was just skipping past. He goes short inboard to Rowe. And Rowe's marked 35 out on a slight angle.
Yeah, I was 2 years old in 1994,
Yes.
so I must have missed that one.
Miss Scotty Cummings was egg of 8. And T with him as well. So Rowe steps back with a footy. Has not kicked one this afternoon, James Rowe. Just his 6th game. Burn, and he started well for the Crows.
Yeah, good. He brings that forward 50 heat, the pressure we've been talking about all afternoon. Had a bit of a quiet day today, but he certainly brings that tackle pressure.
26-day lead by Adelaide to take it back out to 32 points. Rowe steps up, goes into a skip. He's only about 10 metres inside the boundary, puts it across the face of goal. It's going to stay inboard. Frost got a fist on it. Oh, it's gone to the fat side. They're under the pump here, the Hawks. Phillips had his kick smothered. It spills over to Keys, who has a snap from 25. And it goes right across the face and out of bounds on the full. So they're out of strife, the Hawks. Hardwick deep in the back pocket to bring it back in.
They want to continue to move the ball quickly, so he gets it into Sam Frost. He goes towards Dylan Moore. Well done, Scholl. Got the hand in. O'Meara with that one-handed pickup. Couldn't get away from the Lachlan Murphy tackle. And go out of bounds. Crows lead this one by 26 points. A little bit of argy-bargy between a couple of the small players out there, Murphy and Mitchell and Jimmy Rowe. And the free kick will go to O'Meara for the push after the ball went out of bounds. So Jager O'Meara will send it towards the wing. Tim O'Brien, big fly. Good contested mark, 3 deep. And he wheels and goes because he had a one-on-one inside 50. It was Kajitsky and Duday, but the kick didn't favour Kajitsky, and Duday took the nice intercept mark.
Little short ball to Laird. What's his numbers now, Ethan?
23 disposals for Reds Adelaide.
Successful kick to Keys. He goes in towards the centre of the ground, looking for the corridor here, the Crows. Kelly's marked. Looks out to the broadcast wing. Looks to go shorter than that. McPherson hand pass to Butts. So Adelaide working it nicely here. Brodie Smith will receive it on the wing. By hand over the top to Rowe. He's got space. Picks it up off the turf though. 60 from goal. Stops, props, waits. Pops it onto the header. Himmelberg. who marks about 30 out, slight angle. They're just doing the right things at the moment, Adelaide.
Yeah, it was a really smart kick, wasn't it? He sort of just stopped and propped, and he worked out where the Adelaide numbers were and just popped it up, gave him a run and jump at it. But it's a real key forwards day today, isn't it? They're all dominating, and it's probably an area that Adelaide aren't really sure about either. They've tried a few people through there. Obviously, Frampton went out for this game. They've got Tex up there. Himmelberg's playing today. Thilthorpe's come in today. Tom Lynch is the sub. And they've also got Fogarty, who has spent some time through the midfield as well, but is a key forward.
Himmelberg across the face with this kick. Won't be a goal. He's missed everything out of bounds on the full. 26 points up the Crows. Triple M IJ Liga scoreboard. IJ Liga proudly local, proudly independent.
So the only positive out of that kick is it didn't blemish the 15-1 record. I think the most accurate game was an 18-goal-2 performance from St Kilda, I believe in the 90s, Ethan. 18 goals 2 might be something to keep an eye on as the kick goes towards the wing. McHenry, well done. Got it to Duday. Strong tackle though. Cousins did well. Holding the ball. Good pressure by the Hawks. They need plenty more of that in this third term if they can try and peg back this 26-point deficit. For those just joining us, Adelaide had 14 goals straight at half-time. Thilthorpe's kicked 3 on debut. Tex has got 3. Thilthorpe's now got 4. Kajitsky's got 4 for the Hawks, and they transition the ball into the middle of the ground. McAvoy was able to step around Tex and then go inside 50 into the pocket. Kicked in favour of the forwards, and Jordan Butts, who continues to grow by the week, takes a nice intercept mark deep in the fence.
Bit of an arm wrestle in this third quarter so far, Kate.
Yeah, Adelaide have moved the ball really nicely when they've gone through the corridor, though. It's when they've gone long down the line to a contest that it hasn't probably worked out as well for them. Really nice constructed play for that last goal all the way through the corridor and then found the spare outside. So, yeah, I think both teams feeling each other out a little bit in the middle part of this third quarter, but both teams playing really quick football still.
Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Kate McCarthy, Bernie Vince this afternoon, delivering consistent long-term returns for members. Seabus for us all. Boundary throw-in. Players from both sides smash the footy at ground level. Rowe gets up from the bottom of the pack for the Crows, hands it to the umpire.
Warple went low but got the backside in the way of Keys, got him high, so free kick will go the way of Adelaide. Brodie Smith along the boundary line goes towards Tex in a 1-on-1 with Frost, and that ball might have gone out of bounds on the full. It accidentally came off the heel of Frost. Tex was all over it.
Yep, there's a frown that turned into a smile from Tex.
He's bound umpiring then too.
Yes, he was.
How long is he going to roll with that dirty mo, you reckon, Bernie?
Forever.
Well, it's already too long for me.
Yeah, he's kept it for a while. And he's got the ball right on the junction of the 50-metre line of the boundary. And even for him, that might be a tough ask. So he squares it up to Brodie Smith. Man on the mark, 55 metres out. Smith assessing his options and just goes back to Tex.
Yes.
Who's about 5 metres closer than he was from that ball before and 5 metres on a better angle. And this is definitely kickable for him.
That was poor defending there from Sam Frost. He put him, what they call it is they put him to sleep, Baz. He just made out he wasn't interested at all, and then obviously popped up and got an easy kick. Frosty, that was poor.
So Tex from outside 50. We know he's a beautiful kick of the footy. He goes across the face of goal. Not going to register a score. Oh, you're kidding me. John Coleman takes the mark. No, it's not. It's Riley Thilthorpe. But he's going for number 5.
Jeez.
Another contested mark, 5 metres out, straight in front.
What a terrific debut.
Wow. Another big contested grab too.
The big lad. 18.
So Riley Thilthorpe, the pick number 2, is going to stroll in for goal number 5 on debut. And on the Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard, it's another one to the Crows. They are 16 goals, 197. Hawthorn 10-5, 65, and we've still got plenty of time left in this third quarter.
Just looking at the matchup, Thilthorpe's been standing, Jack Scrimshaw has got that matchup on Thilthorpe. Now, Scrimshaw is 193 centimetres, 89 kilos. Thilthorpe, as we mentioned before, 201 centimetres and 102 kilos. It's just a mismatch.
Red Z Lending stats. Thilthorpe spent 33 minutes on Scrimshaw today. He can kick 4 goals in that time.
That's why
they're undersized, the Hawks defenders. They don't have anyone.
It's just another way that new rule comes into play where you can't hand over the man on the mark. So Frost generally would probably hand over that mark and go back and help out in the goal square. But because of that inability to do so with our new rules, he can't help out back there and has to stand the mark. So that takes the major height out of the defensive line for the Hawks.
Triple M Super special comments. Kate McCarthy, Bernie Vince from McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M Rocks footy out of the centre go Hawthorn from the bounce. But Brown, Lukey Brown for the Crows, marks it true centre half back. Brings it back to the wing. Brody Smith running with a fly to the footy. Giath came the other way. Terrific courage from both players. They're all right. Ball spilled to ground level. Shields has got it. Hand pass miss. Did miss the targeting Cousins. Then rolled out of bounds. For Bob Jane teammates, Caitlin Barry.
Yeah, trainer just going out to Giath. He came off second best in that big collision, holding his left forearm at the moment. A couple of other injury updates. Hawk Dylan Moore came off with a blood rule. He's been patched up with blood from the nose. And, of course, Sean Burgon, he's done for the day. He's just been watching from the top of the race in a tracksuit. I've got an update from the Hawks who say it is just precautionary that he is done for the day. They're assessing it at the moment as an ankle roll. Wouldn't expect him to miss an extended period of time.
The kick for the Hawks goes inside 50. Kaczynski couldn't quite bring down the mark. He's got 4 goals for Hawthorn. McPherson goes wide. Well done, Hardwick. Got across there, pressed up as a defender, got the fist in and got it out of bounds. Inside 50 for Hawthorn.
Better big numbers down there on the boundary line. Terrific wrap there from Caitlin Barry. For Bob Jane teammates, of course, get great tyre and wheel deals for safer driving. Visit bobjane.com.au.
Yeah, plenty happening. Probably been too many injuries, really, for round 6 of the AFL season.
Yep.
Some big names not playing. There's Dylan Moore. Tries to create something, top of the 50, got it to Phillips, tries to square it up inboard. O'Meara, third bite of the cherry at full stretch, took a good mark.
Yeah, big kick this one.
This is a big kick. He'll kick it 40 metres out on a very slight angle, and they need to try and bridge back this 32-point deficit.
We were talking about injuries yesterday down at GMHBA Stadium. There's 147 players injured at the moment. That was before the game. We were talking about it when McGovern limped off with that groin. I think that was about the third quarter. But again, even last night, today, it just seems like it's a lot of ankles, Joey.
Yes, there is.
Syndesmosis.
So Jager O'Meara needs to kick this, and he makes no mistake. That's an important goal. Well done from the young leader. And the Hawks get one back to get within 26 points. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. They go 11-5, 71, back within 26. Adelaide still 16-1, 97. And we've got 9.5 minutes left in this third term.
A really important 9 minutes coming up, mainly for Hawthorn. This game's just starting to slip away from them. Really important goal there by one of their leaders, O'Meara. But this next 9 minutes, they just need to be within range to have a real assault in the last quarter.
Jager O'Meara, though, was lifted, though. Red Z Lending stats, 17 touches. He only had 2 to quarter time. 10 of those contested as well, which is the most for any Hawthorn player so far today.
Yeah, you'd think if it's going to come from anywhere, it's going to come from the Hawthorn midfielders. O'Meara and Mitchell really standing up, and even Warple. How many has he had today?
11 disposals.
Yeah, been a little bit quiet today, so he really needs to come into action in this third quarter for the Hawthorn to get back into this game.
Triple M Red Z Lending stats. Red Z Lending loans for the self-employed. From McDonald's, Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy is out of the centre, goes Haitley for the Crows. Kick inside forward, 50 to row. Pushed away from it by O'Brien for Hawthorn. Little hand pass out to Phillips, another one to Giath. Back towards Hardwick, a bit long for him, got tackled, dragged over the line with the footy. Mac Henry was all over him, and they have a bit of a wrestle as they come together at ground level. In fact, Hardwick's claimed a free kick, so he's in the back pocket for the Hawks. What was that for?
Might have been dangerous tackle,
wasn't that dangerous, was it?
There we go. We look at the Harvey Norman replay. What do we reckon?
No way. Unless he's hit him high here in the...
There to support Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours. Trade prices...
Hunt's taken the mark for the Crows. He can send them back into their forward half.
Got to differentiate the umpires between dangerous and aggressive. And just a good aggressive tackle. Tex with a big fly. Couldn't bring it down. Giath trying to play soccer in his own defensive line. Did well. Found Cousins, and now they've got some run. And as Kate McCarthy just told us, it's the Hawks midfield. O'Meara towards Warple. Did he get the bounce to suit? Not quite. Although he's got some support from Morrison. Back to Warple. Twists and turns. Adelaide got the extra defender, so he had to come inboard. Did it nicely. Tommy Mitchell. Here are all the midfielders. Switches it to Phillips. He's got a bit of time and space. Can he find a mark inside 50? Kaczynski just over the head. Hawks have got the numbers. Moore, Kaczynski, Bruce put him under pressure. Well done, Hamill. And then Bruce got it out to O'Meara, and he's going to roll out of bounds 20 around from the Hawks' goal.
Hawthorn really pressing here. They haven't kicked a consecutive goal since the first quarter. So every time they've got a goal, Adelaide have hit back really quickly. So this would be a big momentum shift if they were able to get a goal out of this one.
Well, they've got no ruckman at this stoppage, so they're going to try and shark Riley O'Brien. He was too clever, so he grabbed it out of the ruck. Handball to Seedsman. Get some more metres gained. As Ethan Meldrum told us at half-time, he had over 700 metres at half-time. Loose ball. Will Hamill. Here goes the Crows in numbers, surging forward. Will it sit for McHenry? He's got two Hawks breathing down his neck. Warple and Giaff. Murphy tries to pickpocket. Oh, McHenry just throws that one out right in front of the umpire, rugby union style. And the free kick will go the way of Giaff.
So the Hawks, an important part of the game. This for them now, as Kate said, just need to put a bit of scoreboard uncertainty into the eyes of the Crows, who control the game at the moment. Duday's got it, runs into the tackler in Moore, spills to Hanrahan, called the play on advantage, paid, kick inside, way missed the target. Luke Brown will mark easily as he goes to his knees and marks on his chest. Just couldn't find the target inside. It was an open forward line. Short ball to Haitley. And he marks for the Crows. Another one to McPherson. So they chip it around. Fogarty outside defensive 50. Now a long kick forward to win good. McHenry made position and marked. He can go here. Hardigan stands the mark, but he's trotting backwards. He's just trying to corral him. Drives now inside forward 50. O'Brien, the ruckman, drops back, but in front. Good Mark Frost. He goes short to half back to Warple. They're away the Hawks from centre half back.
Yeah, this is where they're good on the counter-attack. They like to go through the corridor. Giath was running. Mitchell ignored him. Will go himself. From just back of the centre circle, he goes long. Staying down was Kajitsky. He's going to stroll in to kick number 5. And there's youngsters at either end putting on a show. Phil Thorpe at one end, Kajitsky at the other, keeping the Hawks in this one. And there's still some life on the Triple M IJ Liga scoreboard. They're 12-5-77. They still trail by 20 points. Adelaide 97. But they're within striking distance, Bernie Vince. 6 minutes to go, third term.
Oh, they certainly were. We said before, it was just a really important 9 minutes. They didn't let this game slip away late in this third quarter. Just want to be within striking distance in the last quarter. They've gone bang, bang. And what a mark there from Sam Frost. All he did is watch the ball then, saw the ball, went for it as a defender. Sometimes you get a little bit man-conscious, but took the mark. And then what he did well was he played on. He took the game on. And as you called, Joey, through the middle of the ground, handball receive and got it in quick. And that's what happens. You create your own luck like that when you get it in quick to even numbers.
Yet another goal from turnover there, guys. That's 17 for the match from turnover, 8 for the Hawks and 9 for the Crows.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. O'Brien had it out of the centre. His kick was smothered though. Diving onto it, Mitchell. O'Brien tackles him. Murphy grabs it at the bottom of the pack. Little hand pass to Keys for the Crows. Scrubby ball to half forward. Punch back to the centre of the ground. Attacking it, Mitchell. Keys has got him. They roll around on the deck. It's game on now. 20 points up the Crows. The umpire calls for the footy. 5:42 left on the clock for the third quarter. And don't forget, just like a game of footy, Macca's new McSpicy burger has serious kick. And I'm going to get a plethora of them after the game.
Riley O'Brien grabs it out of the ruck, goes inside 50. Hawthorn have got the extra defender, and they use it well. O'Brien, short and wide to Impey. Controls the ball to Tom Mitchell, just starting to get busy. Always seems to be when O'Meara and Mitchell get their hands on the footy, things happen for Hawthorn. They've kicked 2 in a row. Mitchell goes long to the wing. There is O'Meara. Got the crumb at ground level. Handball to Phillips. He goes towards centre half forward. Wingard's got to sit under the footy. Duday flew. Phil Thorpe now having a stint up around the ball. Back to the Crows now through Seedsman. Hamill. Well done, Wingard. He's done that about 3 or 4 times tonight or this afternoon. And he's going to wheel and go because he sees something he likes at the top of the square. Kajitsky stayed down again. So did Hanrahan. Couldn't pick up the football. Seedsman. Haitley. Short and wide, and they find the relieving mark out of defence. And Jimmy Rowe, the youngster, just tells all the Crows players to settle down, and then he turns it over. Hey, Jimmy.
Maybe they should be going on that to Jimmy.
Less of that, Jimmy, and just more hitting a target. He tried to tell the whole world to slow it down, and then he almost kicked it straight to the Hawks.
Well, he did slow it down. He slowed down his chip kick so much that it had time to get spoiled.
All right, boundary throw in, 20 points the margin. The Crows lead, the Hawks making a little rally here, a little challenge. On the wing, Rose got it for the Crows. Little hand pass to Haitley. He delivers a ball along the boundary line to McAdam. He let it slip through his fingers and the ball went out of bounds. So forward to the wing, outer side for the Crows. 4 minutes, 18 seconds left on the clock of the third quarter. Big numbers, Ethan Meldrum for the Triple M Red Z Lending Stats.
Well, big numbers this quarter. O'Meara and Mitchell, 9 disposals apiece for the Hawks. That's the most. Rory Laird leading all comers on the ground with 26.
High ball from the stoppage. 1-on-1. Kelly and Moore, and it will bounce out of bounds. Right on centre wing. Here at UTAS Stadium. Adelaide led by 25 points at half-time. Hawks have slowly pegged it back to within 20. Still 4 minutes on the clock in this third term. Brodie Smith, been very good. High ball in the direction of Taylor Walker. Well done, Tim O'Brien, who's gone back into defence this quarter. Whacks that one out of bounds.
It was a massive second term. 10 goals to 4 for the Crows.
Not forthcoming at this point.
Around the grounds while we wait for that
third quarter. It's pretty much what you want to do, don't you?
Yeah, good response, isn't it?
So boundary throw in. McAvoy slaps it to the front of the pack. Murphy's got it for the Crows. His hand pass went astray. McGuinness, little hand pass back, and now a kick out of the pack for the Hawks through Hanrahan. Kicks across the wing. Moore tracks it to the boundary line. Kelly makes sure he goes out of bounds with the footy. Still 3:40 set on the clock. You can one more here from the Hawks before three-quarter time. And we will certainly put that seed of doubt in the Crows' mind. Boundary throw in. Murphy jumped behind the pack, tried to tap it to the advantage of his teammates. Bruce was there waiting for it though for the Hawk. Kick inside forward 50. Hanrahan went one hand, dropped the mark, went back onto it 30 out from goal. Did pretty well. Punched it over the top of the pack. Good tackle, Wingard on Seedsman. Seedsman hand pass wide of the pack. Brown chases the footy, won't get there. Bruce got there. He's on the boundary line, tries to square it up. Scrubby ball ran along the ground. Moore's got it. Dragged down in a tackle. Kick went straight up in the air. Wingard tried to hand pass out towards his teammate in Shields. Cut off by the Crows. Hand pass to Seedsman. Kick out of the back pocket outside defensive 50.
Good forward pressure here by the Hawks. They're locking it in and they're going to get rewarded with a free kick. It's going to be Kyle Hardigan just outside 50. There's another injured player down inside the 50 for the Hawks. It's young Will Hamill, I think, and that doesn't look good. We can just see here on the Harvey Norman replay, he slipped and there's a knee or a knee buckle or an ankle. It looked like a knee buckle. So he's limping off in the hands of the trainers.
Not putting any weight on it whatsoever. It looked like he held a little bit lower than his knee, almost like his shin, but...
It was the action where there was no contact. He did try and change direction. He sort of slipped.
He slipped and then gripped.
Take a look again. He slipped, tried to ring, and then did hyperextend his
leg sort of shot up in the air, didn't it? His leg that wasn't on the ground.
Yeah, we're not going to try and guess what the diagnosis is. All we know is he's not in a good way, the young fella. Getting helped off by two trainers.
Yeah, no weight whatsoever getting put on that left side, so...
And while this was going on, the play still went on, and the Hawks, Hardigan went short to Impey, who's taken the mark inside 50. Man on the mark stands 47 metres out. Impey's going to stand right on the 50, and he's going to wheel around and kick it next to the man on the mark. Well, there's taking advantage of the tech. There's taking advantage of the goal and man on the mark situation. We'll explain that in a second because he's kicked the goal and they're back within 14 points, which is the most important thing. And the Triple M IGR Liga scoreboard, they're 83, Adelaide 97. I'll give this one to you to talk through, Kate McCarthy, because you've been big on this, taking advantage of the man on the mark.
Yeah, well, initially it looked like he was going back and going to take a normal set shot, and then he's walked up, pretty much stood a metre from the man that was on the mark and just said, well, you can't move, so I'm going to run around and wheel onto my right and get as much distance as I can. So, interesting technique. We haven't seen that one used before, but I don't think it'll be the last time we do see it.
Yeah, we've seen players use that to their advantage, that little space or that channel that you can now use. But he walked up, almost looked like he was going to have a snap around the body, but he's 50 metres out, and then he just ended up kicking it off 2 steps when Rory Laird on the mark wasn't looking.
From McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. We've seen another technique with the standing person on the mark. That's interesting. Laird out of the pack. Kicks through the centre, but it's a bouncing foot. He only went 20 metres. Murphy put his head over for the Crows. His kick was smothered. Spill back to Brodie Smith. Rush kick to half forward off the chest of McAdam. Ball spills to ground level. Big McAvoy at half back for the Hawks. Hand pass off to Mitchell. Hand pass off to O'Brien. He's under pressure with the kick. It bounces outside defensive 50. Giath. Good claim. Got around O'Brien. Ran with the footy. Hand pass back to Giath. The old 1-2. Look at him run through the middle. Beautiful delivery inside to Lewis. That was champagne football.
He's celebrating.
Giath, very excited.
He's chesting him. He's jumping in the air, jumping around.
He's looking up to the commentary boxes. We saw it, don't worry. It was good. Mitch Lewis.
He knew it was
taking
good
the mark.
too.
No, it was fantastic. It was brilliant.
What do you call that? That's the old double jump off the ground and testing each other.
He just took it on.
Love it.
So Mitchell directly in front. Hawks are back to within 14 points. He fires, he's hooked it and kicked the point. 13-6-84. Hawthorn are coming at the Crows. 16-1-97. Just over a minute left to play third term. Triple MIJ Liquor scoreboard.
Really pressing here, Hawthorn. They've kicked the last three, back within 13 points. Great run from CJ Giath. Kick from the kick in, goes short and wide to Butts, who's got the runner in Seedsman. Goes long down the wing. Texas held without the footy. Will get the free kick. Frost arguing. Not sure what he's arguing about. We're going to quickly go down to the boundary line. Caitlin Barry, Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yes, the Crows have had to enact their medical sub, Tom Lynch, but he got taken off guard because he's run down to the rooms to grab his boots because he didn't have them on because Will Hamill was being taken down there with that injury that looks pretty serious.
So expect to see Tom Lynch for the Crows in the fourth quarter.
Handy sub.
Yeah, good. A bit surprised that he went out of the side. Been playing some pretty good footy, Lynch.
Kick goes long inside 50 for the Crows. Rory Laird front and square. Thilthorpe, clever little handball, got it to Keys. Kicks it towards the top of the square in front. Kyle Hardigan.
Tom Lynch is lucky that it's three-quarter time in 20 seconds because otherwise it could have taken him a fair while to get warm.
Hasn't even got his ankle strapped.
No.
Well, that's bizarre. No boots, no ankle strap.
Did he think he was not playing?
He's not happy.
He was just banking that there was going to be no injury.
What's going on there?
That's bizarre.
Ball's on the wing. Giath's got it. Just seconds to go in the third quarter, and that's it. Three-quarter time. Wow. University of Tasmania Stadium. We've got a game in our hands now. It was a 25-point lead to the Crows. At half-time, it's been whittled down to 13 points. The Hawks are coming. 13-6-84. Hawthorn got a terrific record on this ground too. 16-1-97 the Crows. Joey, Bernie, Kate McCarthy, Ethan and Caitlin Barry. And for McDonald's Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
For McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Just like a game of footy, Macca's new McSpicy burger has serious kick.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
G'day, it's Greg Blewett. Straight after this game, Triple M continues to rock footy.
Oh, yes!
Join the Temper Mattress call team for the Power and Saints. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
With Trade Institute of Victoria's remote learning, study building and construction from the comfort of your own home. Learn from home in TIV's virtual classrooms. Whether you're upskilling or going for a complete career change, TIV will support you every step of the way. Government funding available for eligible applicants. Apply online. Learn now and build your future faster with TIV. RTO number 21920.
What do you say to someone who's off because of an injury? Does he even want to talk to people from work right now? Is it still raw?
Oh, hi, Michelle.
How are you doing, Cam?
Yeah, I'm doing well, and I'm on the mend. Was just thinking about you guys. You still doing those Friday lunches?
If you're supporting an injured worker, reach out as soon as you can to check in. Because the sooner you get in touch, the better the return to work journey. A message from WorkSafe Victoria.
Come with me. A massive blockbuster Sunday launches Lego Masters Out of This World. Australia's greatest. It's unbelievable. Most astronomical night.
This is the best Lego model that we have seen.
You've ever seen.
It's amazing.
Lego Masters' biggest 3 nights begins with Blockbuster Sunday. Tonight at 7 on 9.
G'day, Simon Stevenson here. Everyone asks me for painting tips. My response is always, if you want to finish like glass, it's got to be Norglass. They're big on resins, light on solvents, so paint sticks and shines like glass. From trucks to forklifts and a shine that lasts. Use the best, buy Australian, buy Norglass. For stockists across Australia, log on to norglass.com.au. For a finish that's better than glass, it's got to be Norglass.
Open your ears to a new world of audio on Listener.
I actually started listening to Your Morning Agenda with Natasha Belling. Really informative, gives me the quick update that I need in the mornings.
A locals guide is really important, local stuff's in my local area.
I don't have to endlessly scroll to find things, sort of curated for me.
So good it's free. Listener. Radio, podcasts, music and news. Download the new app and listen for free.
Listener.
G'day there, it's Luke Boney here, and as you know, I love my Power Pollen, and I keep saying, just give it a go. With a little help from Power Pollen, you can get your day done, and then you even have more in your tank for fun. Right now, 200 caps of Power Pollen, just $65. It's over a 3-month supply. And if you choose that special offer, it includes 2 bonus bars of the pollen and honey soap. Get your day done, have more in your tank for fun with Power Pollen. Order online at powerpollen.com.au.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
G'day, it's Greg Blewett. Straight after this game, Triple M continues to rock footy.
Oh, yes!
Join the Temper Mattress call team for the Power and Saints. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. There to support Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
Well, it's the Hawks and the Crows, and the Hawks rallied in that third quarter. The Crows led by 25 points at half-time. The Crows 13-point leaders at three-quarter time. 5 goals to Kazitsky for Hawthorn and 5 goals for Thilthorpe in his debut game for the Adelaide Crows. Don't forget, after this one, we're crossing to the MCG. Big game, Collingwood and Essendon, the traditional Anzac Day blockbuster. Mark Howard, Luke Darcy, the great Wayne Carey with Ross Lyon, Michael Roberts and Ashley Chua there as well. Baz Denner here with Joe Montagna, Kate McCarthy, Bernie Vince and Ethan Meldrum. And, of course, Caitlin Barry on the boundary line. But Kate and Byrne, Kate, it was a big third quarter from the Hawks.
Yeah, it was, and it was their pressure that lifted in the third quarter. They rose their pressure to a rating of 221, and as we've said a few times today, the AFL average this year is 177, so that's a massive increase in the pressure around the ball from the Hawks, and they got the reward for it on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when they did turn the ball over, they went really fast. And a good example of that one was the Sam Frost mark he took in front of Taylor Walker. Just got it and instinctively just played on. Went through, took a bit of a risk with the kick inside to O'Meara, but that's been the theme of the day for the Hawks. It's just a different brand to what we've seen over the first 5 weeks. And they're scoring off the back of it. The key forwards are dominating. Thilthorpe 5 goals. Kazitsky's kicked 5 as well, and all the forwards are getting really good looks because of this fast, quick ball movement through the middle of the ground. The only thing is, when they do make a mistake, it's a turnover. On the flip side, the other teams really opened up going the other way, which has hurt them a little bit. But it's been entertaining, it's been exciting, and we're going to have a close finish here by the looks.
So a big third quarter from the Hawks, and now a big final quarter coming up here. And can the Crows hang on? 13-point leaders. They kicked 10 goals straight in the second term. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Here's Joey.
It'll be Seedsman on hands and knees. Ben Keys, Chad Wingard, who's applied some really good pressure. Seedsman just shovels the handball over his head. It's going to be a throw. Mira took the advantage. Umpire said no. He's going to call it back. So it'll be a free kick to start this fourth term to the Hawks. To the big boy McAvoy in the centre circle. He's going to just kick it long and flat straight to his opponent, Riley O'Brien, who dropped back into the hole. He'll be disappointed with that, the skipper. And O'Brien handballs it off to Duday, although his kick was poor, only as far as Shields, who off one step from 50 will go for home, just misses. Gee whiz, fast start. They're back within an even 12 points, Hawthorn. Adelaide 16-197, Hawthorn 13-7-85. As we see on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, Tom Lynch still warming up on the bench. Warming up in the rooms.
You'd think he'd be warmed up, Joey.
You would have thought so. We've seen every other player has been running up and down the boundary. They're ready to go. He didn't have his boots on. He didn't have his ankles strapped, and now he's warming up. And there's a game going on, and they need him out there.
I think he's in his jeans.
Having
a pot. Got him from the bar.
Wapple's got it inside forward 50. Bruce takes the tackle. He rides it, and then he kicks a goal. Hawks are on the charge. He's got 3, Luke Bruce. And the Hawks love this ground, and they're not going to give this one up. 14-7-91, plays 16-1-97. Adelaide's lead has been dwindled back to 6 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard supporting Sparkies with 7:30 opening hours, trade prices and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
There was poor defending really from Adelaide there, just looking on the Harvey Norman replay. Another turnover goal on the wing they were able to turn over. It was a high long ball. And you, as a defender, you never let the ball out the back. If you're going to go up for it, if you're going to fly, you need to keep the ball in front, spoil out of bounds, clear the area. It was just a soft drop over the back, and Bruce just wrapped that up and kicked. It was a really nice finish around his body.
Yeah, it was even numbers at the contest, but the entire Adelaide Crows defenders ran in front of the contest or went up for the contest, and it just let Bruce out the back and finished really nicely.
Yeah, it's the most underrated fend-off in the competition, the Luke Bruce fend-off.
Yeah.
He's as good as Dusty at it, I tell you. McDonald's and Ream, hot water. A free kick out of the centre bounce will go the way of the Crows. Seedsman, beautiful kick, pops it short to Laird, right on the 50-metre logo. He's going to give it back to Seedsman, who's got the leg in him, although he was under a bit of pressure. So he just scrounged one through for a behind.
Another point.
Second blemish. They lead by 7 points. Triple M will go down Bob Jane T-Marts, Caitlin Barry.
Yes, Tom Lynch has just emerged from the rooms, ready to go with boots on, so he'll be out there shortly. Will Hamill is still down in the rooms with pretty much every medical professional from the Crows side. He does have plenty of ice on that left leg. Now, he hasn't had a great day. He had that left ankle strapped early, then he had his right calf strapped a little later in the match, and now looks like a pretty nasty injury concerning his left leg.
Bob Jane T-Marts, get great tyre and wheel deals for safer driving. Visit bobjane.com.au.
Hawks have worked it to the outer side wing. Phillips has got a little hand pass to Hanrahan, over the top to Warple. Short ball to the pocket's good. And Morrison comes out and marks. So he's got this about 35 out, about 8 to 10 metres inside the boundary line to bring the Hawks back to within 1 point of Adelaide. What a huge turnaround. So Morrison settles with the footy. Hasn't scored so far today. Sucks a few deep breaths in. Starts to walk over the 50-metre line. Breaks into a trot. From 43 metres, he's put it. It's bent back. It looked like it was going to go across the face, and it's landed short anyway. Butts has taken the mark on the goal line.
Jeez, that had a bit of everything. Had a bit of left to right swing, and then it dipped late.
Jeez.
Wow.
You'd like him bowling first change, wouldn't you? Duday's got it in the back pocket.
Duday's going to go long towards the wing. Scrimshaw sat in front. He's had a tough night with the defender, Phil Thorpe, but he's taken a strong mark. He's going to send it back inside 50, looking for Mitch Lewis. He's got 3 Crows around him. Duday under pressure. They're just starting to feel the pressure now, the Crows. Kicks it back to Scrimshaw. Umpire said not a mark. Not sure why. So he's handballed to Cousins, who kicks a high ball. And a mark's taken by Big Boy. Too far out for him. He doesn't have the journey, so he's going to pop it over the top to Mitch Lewis. Takes the mark, 15 out on a slight angle. And this to get the Hawks within a point.
Yeah, it's been a game of turns, hasn't it? Like, if you think back to that first quarter, 20 points up the Hawks were. Adelaide were able to turn it around with that big second quarter, and they got out to 32 points up when Phil Thorpe kicked his 5th goal, and now this to make it 1 point.
Already got 1 today. Mitch Lewis make it 2, and the Hawks are coming. They've kicked 5 consecutive goals, and they are within a point. Good game of footy on our hands here. Hawks 15-7-97, Adelaide 16-2-98. Still plenty of time left in this one.
Yeah, and the momentum's really with Hawthorn now, and you'd think that the Tassie strong crowd down there would really be starting to get behind them and starting to lift them. And we saw Mitch Lewis really celebrate that goal, bring the crowd back into the game, and if they can win the next centre clearance here, this is a big centre clearance in the game. Whoever wins this, really important to win and get the ball forward.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy, a 1 point ball game now. The Crows lead, 16 minutes left on the clock. There's Tommy Lynch on the ground. The sub is on. Hamill went off a long time ago. Tommy's warmed up. He's ready to go, Bert.
Yeah, he's about time. It was an hour ago he did that.
He did.
Honestly, he
Still
just
doing
did his jersey up. What is
shorts.
wrong with this bloke?
The ball bounced. McAvoy down to ground level. Seedsman will track it for the Crows. He's hustled off it by Wingard, who just hoofs it off the ground, the half forward. Punched out towards his teammate down there at ground level in Cousins. Quick kick inside forward 50 for the Hawks. They wrestle. Kazitsky's taken the mark. Kazitsky's got a 25 out. The young man's kicked 5 this afternoon. And he'll go back and have a shot to put Hawthorn in front. Can you believe it?
Well, I didn't think I'd be saying this watching this game, but this has been one of the most exciting games I've done all year. Just this fast ball movement. The key forwards are taking big grabs, kicking big bags of goals. Lining up for his 6th now, Kazitsky. Wow.
He settles with the footy. Famous name in footy, Kazitsky. 35 out, slide angle, he kicks. He's put it across the face and through for a point and scores a level in Launceston. Scores dead level. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, and we're 7.5 into the final term.
That's game on here. Don't go anywhere. It's going to go right down to the wire. McPherson with a kick in only as far as Giath.
I'm not going anywhere, Joey. I'm here.
He takes a big mark, Giath. 55 out. He's going to kick it to the top of the square. Mitch Lewis with a fly. Oh, terrific mark. Duday with courage.
Back with the flight.
Oh, that was a terrific mark, Tom Duday. Just steadies the ship for the Crows.
Red Z lending stats, guys. That's the 8th inside 50 to 1 for the Hawks for this quarter.
And they're all over them, and they might come in again because the kick only goes as far as Impey, who quickly lowers the eyes. Kazitsky, no, it's not. It's Cousins. Takes the mark, 45 out, 45-degree angle.
Yeah, they're all at sea here, Adelaide. They just can't get it out. They can't even get it past centre. Every time they exit their D50, it's just coming straight back in. And Hawks just need to make the most of this now. They missed the last couple of shots. They need to settle it here. This for the lead.
Young James Cousins, just his 2nd game for the season. Important moment for him. From 45 out. He shanked it badly out of bounds on the full.
Missed everything.
Just can't capitalise for all their good work at the moment. Clarko's frustrated.
He's never happy, Clarko.
Head in his hand.
Doesn't matter if he's up, down.
So in deep back pocket, McPherson runs away with it. Long ball outside defensive 50. Walker up with O'Meara. O'Meara marks, plays on, runs to 45, fires and misses. It's a point, but the Hawks have hit the front. 15-9.99. They're on the charge. Adelaide 16-2.98. Adelaide have got to find something. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, 9 minutes final term. Can they, Kate McCarthy?
You'd think they just need to find a mark coming out of this kick here. Just find a mark somewhere, even if it's a short mark. They've gone long again, though.
Yeah, Duday's going to go long towards Darcy Fogarty. Good hands. Good mark. Needed that. Can they find the next mark? He's called the play on. He's going to take on Shields. That's ambitious. Did okay, but has to go long on the left boot. Riley O'Brien stayed down. He tried to do the crumbing. That's not his strength. He had a little fumble, and Giath sees that ball go out of bounds. So with 13:20 left on the clock, the Hawks lead by a point. They were down by as much as 32 points in the 3rd term, and they've kicked the last 5 goals. Big stoppage. O'Meara's lifted. He's been awesome. Tried to hand the ball to Shields, wrapped up by Schoenberg. We'll have it thrown up.
There'll be a ball up on the wing. Neutral territory. Who's got the energy left? Thrown in the air, slapped to the side of the pack. Fogarty's got it, breaks the tackle. Hand pass forward towards McInerney. McHenry that'd be. Thanks, Byrne. As Warple dives on top of the footy close to the boundary line, it goes out of bounds. About 55 around from the Crows' goal.
Red Z leading stats, 7 inside 50s to a row for Hawthorn. 87% time in forward half so far this term.
Just got a little bit of mail on Tom Lynch, why he wasn't ready. Apparently Adelaide wanted to take him there but not use him. They actually didn't want him to play. They wanted him on the bench for leadership, and they were forced to use him because of an injury. Bizarre.
That is
bizarre.
If you want him for leadership, you just take him and have a sub.
Yeah, that's right.
Someone else.
Yeah. So we're going to have another repeat stoppage. 12:41 left on the clock. Hawks still lead by a point.
Tell you what, guys, if I was a medical sub and I wasn't getting a game, I would be on the bench, ready to go, chomping at the bit, ready for a game.
Maybe Tommy Lynch just wanted the match payment, Bernie. He wanted the match payment.
He would, yes, he would.
In this quarter now,
one from this pocket, centred it, and then that one there just had a great...
Mira did well, front and square, got it to the runner in GF.
Here he goes.
He ran a long way, took a bounce.
Bounce it again, quick, bounce it.
He was running across the face of goal.
That was 20 metres.
That was 25.
Goodness.
Tex was smart enough not to try and chase him. He just corralled him, and the Hawks get to the wing. Mitch Lewis didn't take the mark. O'Meara all of a sudden was in the back pocket. Now he's on the wing, and he got the handball to Morrison. Back to O'Meara, working his backside off Jager O'Meara. Kick partially smothered. Kelly along the boundary line.
Nowhere looking a little ordinary early in the game, and now smarting things up. Stanley on the Guthrie.
Hardwick, and they're going to go back at him, the Hawks.
So a long ball across the wing for Hawthorn to half forward. Crows in numbers drop back, or they spoiled each other. Fogarty at the fall, the ball inside defensive 50. Hand pass off to Scholl. It's Hawthorn by a point. 11 and a half minutes left to play in the game. Short ball off to Keys on the wing, and he takes a strong mark. Got one across the chops, but hangs on to the footy. I'm not a mathematical genius, Ethan, but wouldn't most of the thank you, Bert. Wouldn't most of the subs have been used this year? Would you not expect not to use your sub? Anyway, the ball kicked towards half forward, and an opportunity for O'Brien to mark at half back for the Hawks, and he does. So the Crows have found something. They're starting to surge forward. The Hawks now hanging on to a 1-point lead.
Baz Ashard, no, I'll just text him.
So the marks with Jarman Impey. Right half back flank. Hawks lead by a point. They trailed by 32 points in the third term. They've kicked the last 5. He kicks to a big pack on the wing. No one can take the mark. Warple at ground level. Did well. Fed the handball back to GF. He put Hardwick under pressure. Did nicely though. Stepped around. Thilthorpe switched the play. And they got some overlap near Hawthorn. Cousins has got Shields in front of him. He can run, look at the game, assess his options, draws the man, gives it to O'Meara. He's been enormous in this second half. Back to Cousins, goes on his left boot. Can he take the mark?
Catch.
It was like Mark Taylor on the slip cordon. They're going to have a discussion here.
I think he's juggled it over the line here.
Did he?
The boundary umpire saying he juggled it over the line.
Great take.
It was low and right down to his right. That's a mark. He controlled that.
He did.
And it's been paid.
Did they watch the replay then?
I'm not sure, but it's been paid.
I didn't know you were allowed to do that.
And Koschitzky has taken an unbelievable mark. He's kicked 5 goals, 2 from his 12 disposals. He's up against the boundary line. 30 out, but on the right side for a snap for a right footer to extend their 1-point lead. He's taking his full 30 seconds. He steps out. He shanks it. It goes completely across the face of goal, and it gets punched out of bounds. He's had a couple of chances in this last quarter, Cozzy, for 6.
So have Hawthorn. They've had a lot of chances, and as you said before, Kate, the inside 50 numbers are just through the roof at the moment, but they're not converting, not kicking goals. They need to make the most of this dominance here. Otherwise, Adelaide, you know what will happen? They'll go straight down the other end and kick a goal.
McPherson and Lynch on the ground has taken the mark in the back pocket. A kick outside defensive 50 for the Crows. Walker crashes the pack, couldn't get near the footy. Himmelberg's got it, shuffled out of his hands to Scholl. Runs the boundary line, kicks it about 30 metres across the wing. Hardwick's got to wait for it to bounce for the Hawks. Tried the tap to Scrimshaw. It ended up going back to him anyway. Hand pass off towards Warple. Kick into the centre of the ground. Good, and O'Meara marks.
He's been huge, this quarter, O'Meara.
Defensive side of the centre. The Hawks lead by 1 point. Kicks out here to the broadcast wing. Cousins has got it. Cousins looking for an option to lead forward. Goes short to Wingard. Wingard's taken the mark. So chipping it around the Hawks, looking for a forward 50 entry to perhaps put a bit of ice on this game. It's been tough since three-quarter time to find an avenue to goal. Long ball inside forward 50. Lewis in the back of the pack can have a shot. It bounces across the face and Lynch sees it through for a rush point. 2 points up the Hawks. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. 9 minutes left to play. We'll be crossing to the blockbuster at the MCG, the biggest home and away match of the year. The Anzac Day blockbuster between Collingwood and Essendon. Howie and Luke Darcy will keep you updated on this one with the two-man Wayne Carey, Ross Lyon and Mickey Roberts. We'll be here for a while yet, but at the moment the Hawks lead it by 2 points.
Yeah, the tap from McAvoy's a beauty to Bruce. He runs along the boundary line. O'Meara was there, couldn't quite get it to him. Crows win the ball back. Although Darcy Fogarty slipped over, he's going to get pinged holding the ball. Good forward pressure from Liam Shields. And the Crows, who kicked 14 goals straight at half-time, have only kicked 2 goals, 2 since. Shields wastes no time. Plays on from 45. Goes for home, right to the goal line. Koschitzky flew, but it goes through for a behind. And they are peppering here big time this last quarter. Ethan Meldrum, what are some of the Red Z Landing stats?
Well, it's 10 shots on goal to 1 this quarter, but Hawthorn kicked 2 goals, 5 from them. 7 touches for O'Meara this term, which is the most on the field. Adelaide, 34 minutes without a goal.
Red Z Lending loans for the self-employed, so they've kicked 2 goals, 5 and 3 haven't registered a score.
Correct.
In this last quarter.
Scholl out of the back pocket, long ball for the Crows outside defensive 50. Hayton lost it, dispossessed by Cousins. Laird's got to go and he does. Kicks across the body, high back towards the wing. Mitchell sits underneath it for the Hawks and marks. You just sense they need this next goal, Hawthorn. They're doing all the attacking. Mitchell will kick them back inside forward 50. Left foot drop punt, pops it up 20 metres from goal to the hot spot. Lynch will fly for the Crows, no mark taken. Back of the pack, Duday, hand pass Kelly, they're under the pump here. Got it to Butts. Rush kick goes straight up in the end of defensive 50. Sitting underneath it, McHenry. Couldn't trap it. Grabbed by McPherson, hand pass to Laird. Quick kick off half back for the Crows towards the wing.
McAvoy sitting back there. Well done, Tex. Did enough to affect the mark, but Impey bursts away. Kicks it again to the hot spot, and there's going to be a free kick. It's going to go the way of the Crows, I think, though. It was a hold against Mitch Lewis. And it's going to go to Jordan Butts.
Need to get some territory with this play, the Crows. Get it out of their defensive 50, but with a mark. Not kicking to a contest. Take a set mark, slow it down and get it down the field a bit.
Do they ever? They cannot get it out of their back half. Although they might get lucky here. The umpire's paid an arm chop against big boy McAvoy on Riley O'Brien. So he'll take the free kick on the half-back flank. They need to generate a goal, the Crows. They've kicked 2 goals, 2 since half-time. The Hawks have kicked 6. O'Brien goes long towards another big pack of players. Crows got the numbers across. Oh, Seedsman didn't see Warple. Blindside him, nailed him in a tackle holding the ball.
That was a ripper tackle. So at the moment here, it's a 3-point lead to Hawthorn. We will be crossing to the MCG shortly for Collingwood and Essendon. Massive build-up to the Anzac Day blockbuster, as always. And no worries with that. Ashley Chua will keep an eye on this one with Das and Howie and a big team with Rossi Lyon, Wayne Carey. And the great Mickey Roberts on the boundary line for the Anzac Day blockbuster. The Hawks go forward here. McAvoy kick towards full forward. Punched away from Lewis. Cousins at the fall of the ball. Tracks it back to 40. Wants to go by hand. Onto it with Schoenberg. Lays the tackle on McGuinness, who was on as a sub. Fogarty has the footy. And the free kick will go to the Crows. And it'll go to Schoenberg at half-back. He delivers a ball to the outer side wing.
He has Tom Lynch, the medical sub, who didn't think he was going to play. He's now out there and he needs to do something because the Crows need a goal. But it's the Hawks through Impey. 3 bounces. Gets towards half forward. Probably left it a bit late to go for the kick. He got run down with a bit of pressure and he turned it over straight to young Jackson Haitley. His first game for the Crows. Deep in defence. Scholl in the back pocket. Crows need to go the full length of the field. Duday. 16 goals 2, they're stuck on Adelaide. The Hawks 15 goals 11. Ethan's told us 10 shots already at goal this last quarter of the Hawks, but the Crows, they have the ball in the wing through O'Brien. Got the runner in Haitley. Back to Riley O'Brien. Pops it over to Seedsman. In a bit of shade along the boundary line. Centre wing. Schoenberg into the pocket. Who can take a mark? It's going to be McAdam. He flew in from the side. And he took a terrific mark, and everybody's told him to go back and steady and see if he can put Adelaide back in front.
Well done, Elliot Himmelberg. He knew that McAdam was going to fly and held his opponent out really well. McAdam, massive hops to get up there. Huge grab in the context of this game.
Shane McAdam has kicked 2 goals already today.
Just the forward disposal. He's had a pretty quiet day, but if you kick 3 goals as a forward, it's a good day.
Just needs to be your moments, and he's missed it. Through for a behind. So it's 99 to 101. 5 minutes exactly left on the game clock.
So, don't forget for Ream Hot Water, I'll be having a hot shower after this one, Joey. Built tough for Aussie conditions with the latest technology when it comes to water heating. Install a room. And it's Hardwick fullback here. As we look forward to the blockbuster coming up shortly, Collingwood and Essendon at the MCG, followed, of course, Port Adelaide and St Kilda tonight. Triple header on Anzac Day. as Impey runs out of half-back, but he's dragged down in a tackle. Got it to Giath. He's dispossessed. Here they go. McAdam can go again. Hand pass back to Seedsman. Seedsman over the top to Brodie Smith on forward 50s under the pump. High ball to full forward. Himmelberg runs back with a fly to the footy. Kicks an open goal. Dropped it onto his boot, and the Crows have hit the front, have they, or not? Joey, you're saying no. What do you see?
Free kick, front on contact.
Oh, it is too. It's going to go back to O'Brien, so a massive call. The Hawks hang on to a 2-point lead. There's the Harvey Norman replay. What do you think?
Oh, well, he actually had his eyes on the ball, but if you come back, you can't make contact from front on, and you're a bit stiff because he's actually had his eyes on the ball for the majority of the time he's running back.
Oh, Riley O'Brien stood tall the last 5 or so minutes, takes another big contested mark. He'll give the handball off to Kelly. They'll send it inside 50 again. Where are the Flyers this time? Elliot Himmelberg's there. Where are the Crummers? Hawks got numbers back, although Giath's under pressure. Just throws boot the ball only as far as Benny Keys. Takes the mark, 35 out straight in front.
Bizarre handball from Phillips back to a contest. It was a handball to a guy with 2 Crows players around him. It was just, he should have just put it on the boot, just get it out to the wing, gain some territory, but he put his teammate under extreme pressure.
So Ben Keys, he's had a huge game, 29 disposals, already kicked 1 to put Adelaide back in front. He's shanked it.
God.
He's actually shanked it out of bounds on the full. So the Hawks still lead this one by 2 points, 3 minutes 30 left.
Righto, it's time to cross to the MCG. We'll keep a close eye on this one. Don't worry about that. Howie Das, Wayne Carey, Rossi Line, Mickey Roberts, Ashley Chua. The traditional Anzac Day clash, the Bombers and the Magpies. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. Bob Jane T-Mart's deals for safer holiday driving. Buy 3, get 1 free. Selected Bridgestone Performance, Yokohama Passenger and SUV, plus J-Trax SUV and 4x4 tyres. Instant cashback on a huge range of tyres including Michelin and Pirelli. Plus Australia's largest tyre range from just $59, our best tyre price guarantee and biggest alloy wheel choice from only $119. We'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
Welcome to the MCG Anzac Day. Always such a wonderful day on the Australian sporting calendar. The Australian calendar, 85,000 people are packed into the MCG. Hopefully everyone's had a chance this morning to spend some time at a service to think about all those men and women that have served not only this country but countries all around the world. But now it is about the football. I hope you've been enjoying the coverage of Hawthorn versus Adelaide. We'll keep you across that one. There are 2 minutes and 28 seconds to go. The Hawks have peppered the goals. They lead by 2 points. Currently, after the Crows kick 15 straight, Kaczynski is lining up for a 5th or 6th goal. We'll keep you across that. The King and the captain is here, Wayne Carey. Hello to you, Ducky boy.
Yeah, g'day listeners, g'day boys. Good to be here. I tell you what a day it is. And thank you to all the women and men that serve this great country. Privileged to actually be sitting here, Howie, to grow up in such a great country that we do, and then the privilege to be sitting here at a game of footy and doing what we love. We're very, very lucky because of those very, very special people that continue to do it to this day.
Well said, Duck. Now, Ross Lyon, the coach of the team, is here. A rarity for you to be able to attend this match, Ross.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the last time. I certainly didn't coach here and haven't been involved in a match day role. So really excited walking in, just dropped off over 10, walked through the crowd, the hum, the excitement. And as Wayne said, it is a big football game, but Anzac Day, and when you think about it, there's a whole host of reasons why this day is important. It's sombering the loss of life, but then forging our identity as a nation, establishing values. I mean, we could go on, but I'm excited to see what today produces.
And it's a day generally built around mateship, so it needs to be dressed at the start.
Down here, just a pretty quiet sort of afternoon. It's been here crowd-wise.
Well, apparently that contract is extended now because our little mate Nathan Brown, who was with us through thick and thin, Ross, is apparently not here today.
Well, what would be? I was driving along. I actually texted the thread. No deflate, Nate.
Yes.
I was thinking work to rule, don't give much to Das, but in the honour, mate, what happened?
It's pretty easy. When you've got a full list to pick from, you've got to go with your strongest
And I
team.
think Ross will understand. It's actually a performance-based contract, Howie. And if you perform, you get rewarded. And
hello to you, Luke Darcy. There's a minute, 50 seconds on the clock. The Crows win it by 3 points. Tex nearly takes a mark. Tunners, are we allowed to call this game, or is that breaking some broadcast rules? Okay, so we'll just continually update without calling the game as we're getting ready for the ceremony here. Jaff's got it on the half-back line for the Hawk Stars. There's 34 seconds on the clock. The Crows kicked the first 15 straight, they did. Extraordinary kicking. The Hawks currently lead it by 3 points as the ball goes long to the Windars.
Young boy on debut has kicked 5 goals, Two-Man. How do you say his name?
Yeah, Riley Thilthorpe for the Crows.
The Hawks have turned it over through Bruce. There's 15 seconds on the clock. The Hawks should get their second win of the season.
I just remind you, there's a minute silence coming up here.
We're
the only person that's
We're done, Howie.
We're getting ready for that. Let's now go out into the middle for the Anzac ceremony.